Up. I still do not understand. Does he not have an off switch for his lightning?
He killed himself. That's what he did. If you think about it, he shot his lightning at Rey, and when it shot back at him, he was like, "Oh, this feels good.
Oh, I can't turn it off."
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I still think that wasn't like Rey and like Kylo Ren like related in some sense. Like I still feel weird about how that whole thing went down. Right?
Taboo.
Well, it was a kiss of it was a
combo.
It was a kiss. It was a kiss of friendship, you assholes.
Yeah, I've definitely kissed some girls in friendship.
Kisses aren't on the back of the neck.
Yeah.
I just like being able to move things through the force. Like it'd be like, dude, grab me a drink, and like all of a sudden a can of Coke appears behind your back, and you just grab it. I thought that was one of the better things that they ever did.
I wonder if you could use the force to work out your abs, so that way you can still be lazy. Because you're never gonna get off the couch to go get anything again. You're just gonna force move it.
I'd be like Jabba the Hutt then.
Well, no, but if
Cheetos.
You know how they have those things you can attach to your abs and it.
Yeah.
The
exercise thing.
Yeah. Could you do that, but through the force?
I don't know how many people have watched that commercial on YouTube. I didn't think anybody else saw that one. All right, let's start this thing.
You still have the banner up there.
Give me a second. Dude, it's all like freezing up on me. Son of a bitch.
Mad with a win again. Mad story time.
Oh, man. Am I going to have issues tonight?
Where's Jane?
Jane!
Wait, why is my email up there?
I don't know. I'm just seeing all these different things. Dude, it's stuck at 33 for me, so I don't even know. Tell me when I'm supposed to come in.
Okay, we're at 20.
Now, it started now.
No.
I lied.
And now.
Now it started. Yeah, it totally started now.
GD. By the way, there better not be any ad rolls tonight or midstream. Lily is already threatening.
I took it off. Oh, yeah.
What? George, don't come here no more.
What?
You remember George? He was awesome.
I remember George, yeah.
I really liked him being on the show. George!
What?
Toxic man flu. Haven't seen him in forever.
He was here like last week.
Oh.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Oh, crap. I totally boomered that.
Oh, my God.
It's almost like 3 weeks in a row you managed to boomer your own intro.
Welcome, everybody.
Unbelievable.
Welcome, everybody. It is
You
the
had
dump.
one job.
One job. I was about to
See,
say
and now he knows why everyone bullies him, right?
Okay, hold on, everybody.
It's Jagary.
All right, my little meow meows. It's time to buckle up because it's the dump.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the dump. It is Saturday
Son of a
night.
bitch.
My name is Scott. This is Sporking News Podcast, and welcome. We have a live show for you tonight. We're going to be talking DCEU, The Last Breath. Gunn Superman's synopsis kind of leaked. How do you feel about it? Star Wars intimacy coordinators. Do you like to be touched that way? And
I don't think that's what they do. I don't think they coordinate like, okay, you put your hand here. She's going to put her mouth there.
Totally thought that's what it is. It's not?
It should be. No, it should be.
I really thought it was like, okay, hold her hand. Like, are you okay with him holding your hand here?
Yeah,
like,
it's more like a therapist who comes in and be like, just to let you know, in this scene, if you feel uncomfortable or if you feel him get erect, you can say something.
Oh, well, that's biology. Anyways, let's welcome our guests tonight. We have the great MVP, Max Von Priestley. What a great name.
Nerd.
Hello. Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You are
Why
welcome.
do you hate nerdrotic so much?
Oh, God, it's an attack. Let it begin. No, tell them where you can find them.
Oh gosh, you guys can find me on my channel MVP Maxfield Von Priestley. It's just my full name. Talking comics, Warhammer, and pretty much any type of entertainment and pop culture. So, but yeah, thank you guys again for having me. This is super rad. It's been a hot minute since I've.
It has, man. And Go ahead, Matt.
Did your parents intend on you having the name of a supervillain?
You are totally. I was just gonna ask him that question.
It's so funny because I was on. I don't know if you guys know who Thinking Critical is. He's a comic book channel.
Yeah.
And he has a show on Saturdays called The Comics Aficionados. And I was on there one weekend, and the chat was going like, we need to like create a Victor Von Doom persona for him because he's very Doom-esque, So they were.
I mean, your name is.
Yeah, exactly.
So Von is real in your name?
Vaughn is my middle name, yeah.
Holy
and so
crap,
that's
your
where the
parents totally
MVP
wanted it.
Right?
Yeah, so that's where the MVP comes from, was just my initials. But it turns out that even in the Marine Corps, and Matt, you probably know this, Jerry, you know this, all of our vets know this. They gave me can I cuss yet?
God, shit! It's been past 8 seconds. You're fine.
Yeah, they gave me so much shit for my name. They were just like, "Oh yeah, fucking MVP, get the hell out of here with that shit."
Yeah, when you're sitting on that vehicle, just about to get into that shark frenzy, and you find out somebody's got an effed up name,
it's all
and
about
you just
that, right?
look at him, go, "Don't hang out with me."
And you know what? That's our other guest tonight. One of the hosts of Pop Culture Minefield. His name is Gary. Don't get it wrong. How are you, Gary? The other
You
Gary?
can call me Gary. It's all right.
Yeah, baby.
Gary.
So let them know where they can find you, who you are, all that good stuff.
Tom calls me Gary with a J. From Midnight's Edge. So
Yep.
Come here to me. You can find me at Pop Culture Minefield on YouTube. You can also find us on Twitter. Pretty much all the major social medias. We have a good group over on Facebook.
Nice.
Facebook is more for family, but I found that our group really has a good number of people in it.
Well, I have a Facebook. I think I put up like DuckDuckGo might block me from sharing stuff to my Facebook group, so I don't even know what's going on there.
DuckDuckGo is just horrible.
I forgot my password to Facebook 5 years ago, and they're like, "Well, send us a picture of your license." I'm like, "Okay," and then they're like, "Well, send us a sample of your DNA." I'm like, "Wait, hold on there, bro."
What was the last 4 of your social? Your mother's maiden name while you're at it?
It's really going bad when they go, "Can you send us some dick pics?"
Yeah. Well, it is
I've been
Facebook.
blocked. I've been blocked out of my own account for over 5 years.
Oh my God! You know who isn't blocked? E. Clay Tomlinson is a new channel member.
Hey.
Thank you, my friend. I do appreciate that because we have hit rock bottom with the freebie guys are gone, so we went from like 38 down to 18. So I appreciate you guys. Ever since I was demonetized, we went from 110 to 0, and now we're back up to 18. And you are welcome to Sporker. You're a Sporker. Holy shit, man! Thank you so much.
Posting that stuff when you got demonetized, I'm like, what the hell, man?
It was rough, dude. It was rough. We did. I don't know if you guys know Pops. Pops is a great YouTuber. Great voice for YouTube. He did an interview and asked me all about it. So if you guys haven't checked out Pop's channel, please go over there and check out the video he did with me because I'm on it. So.
I'm scheduled to be on one of his coming up soon as well.
Yeah. Well, he wanted the YouTuber on first, so that's me, and then my Padawan, who is Matt Chismo. Go ahead.
Assistant to the YouTuber's YouTuber.
He really is.
No, I'm
Matt
No,
Chismo,
I am
are you going to
the
show your
YouTuber
face tonight, dude? People love to
Man,
see you.
I haven't set up my camera because I have double monitors now, and I'm like, wow, what angle? And I was thinking about doing it. I was like, I don't feel like moving.
Are you kidding me? That's like such a culture thing to say. Like my 65-inch or 55-inch should I put it on? You know?
All I know is Mad Marta can.
Yeah, he can. And you know what? I shouldn't say shit because he gave me a tripod and camera, and I don't know what I did with either one of them. He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Max, I'm going to tell you something about this guy. Okay.
All right.
I do a UFO show with Don Ecker, one of the top voices in UFO radio and
Do you really?
UFO magazine. Yeah, you and I are partners.
Uh,
and
I
I
can
invite
come
him on for our
anytime.
afternoon show called Dangerous Military Nerds. And during the show, Matt goes, he's a decorated Vietnam War vet. He goes, "You fought in what, Korea?"
Well, I
He
couldn't.
about lost his shit.
He looks so old.
Dude, I love that shit, man. If you ever need somebody, let me know.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
for
know
the
it's
veteran
fucking
show?
funny,
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
No, not
Max,
veteran.
you
I
served
like
in
to
the
talk.
military, you could be on.
I didn't, but I do something else that may come in handy. We'll talk about it afterwards.
We had
Does it have anything to do with ping pong balls?
Close. Let me introduce Jacob first from Society Reviews. How are you, Jacob? And where most of my my info for tonight came, Bounding into Comics. How are you, sir?
Oh yeah, I'm great. Just watch a little bit of UFC all the way from the UK, and then just watching everyone else's bracket explode here in our little group. We had 18 people this year who joined our group, and as of this very moment, only 6 of them have their champion still in the tournament, and we haven't even made it past the first round yet. So this is all good.
What's the biggest upset so far?
There's been a few. Duke lost. Purdue, I think, was the big one because they were the 1 seed and they lost to a 16. Kansas just lost a few minutes ago, so that was another big one. So yeah, there's a bloodbath going on right now.
Yeah.
Even
All right.
even
Well,
Kamala,
thank you for being here.
even Kamala Harris, her alma mater,
They
her school
booed the
lost. Yeah.
shit out of her, dude.
It's bad enough that they
Allegedly.
lost, but then they had to listen to Kamala Harris after the game.
Oh,
I
great.
love school buses. Anyways,
Got 'em.
but we're not going to talk about that. Max, stop yelling at us, okay?
Real quick, so we Gary on our veteran show, on his veteran show that I was on, we had Rod Laurie on a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
the director of The Outpost and Last Castle. Really great interview.
The Last Castle?
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
it was a really
man.
great interview. I did I shame him into taking off his hat before we started? Yes.
Wow.
Like he asked for it.
You were.
He came in wearing a hat that just said NFLs right before the Super Bowl. And I'm like, I love your non-committal hat. You're like, oh, I'm not ready to settle down with just one team yet. I'm just going to keep it very
Sports.
He took it off.
Sports ball. It's the equivalent
While we're
to,
talking sports ball, just real quick, there's another upset alert going on right now with Houston, who's another number 1 seed. If they go down here tonight, pretty much everyone's bracket, you could just burn it in ash 'cause this whole thing's gonna go up in flames.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, guys, attention if you can. Becky is one of our awesome chat members, been in the fandom forever. She has a GoFundMe. She is a stubborn person that doesn't like asking for help. She'll laugh at me saying that because I've been telling her to make it bigger amount of money, but she won't do it. I hope she will. But it's out there, guys. If you can't give, please just share. I know it's a hard time for a lot of people out there, so please do. All right. Thank you and have a great day. So listen, we're going to talk first and foremost.
Before we do, I just
please
needed
do.
to ask Jacob. Jacob, are you going to be doing a fantasy football this year?
Probably not.
Damn it. All right. I'm trying to find
I
a
do.
league.
I do. I can
I
probably
just-
let's get a league, dude.
Yeah, let's get a league going.
Hearing that NFL hat story
Yeah.
just reminds me of that one woman. I forget. Was it Leslie Headland? Was it her that was like, I just love all
All the Star Wars.
And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my god, of course.
I couldn't pick one. Could you name one?
Just name one movie.
Clearly not.
No.
You know, that's kind of funny. Good lead in because she actually might be one of the people that decided to declare worse or woke than ever. No, that's not what she declared. After confirmation of intimacy coordinator hired for the Acolyte. And isn't that one of her shows, the
No, it's
Acolyte?
Acolyte.
Acolyte? I'm
Yeah.
retired.
Well, I don't. Why are they banging in
supposed to say
Star
that.
Wars?
Huh?
Why are people banging in Star Wars? That's not what.
Well, yeah.
I come from, space wizards and shit. Not,
Yeah, I'm still confused on that one.
Because we've raised an entire generation of people whose entire identity is whether or not they take it up the pooper.
Why are you sneaking up on me? Sorry.
Autumn, what show is that dude from? I know him from something else.
Is this an actual set photo? Or,
Yes,
you know
I
what?
believe so. I think it's they're not wearing the actual garb yet, but
Okay.
yeah.
I was like,
can't
wait a second, this must be rehearsals or something because
Yeah.
there's no way this is the actual costume design.
I pray to God it's not.
Yeah,
But yeah, so this one was written by John F. Trent, friend of the channel, and Gary. He said it earlier backstage. So the upcoming Star Wars series, The Acolyte, helmed by
She
former
looks like
Harvey
somebody that
Weinstein.
doesn't know how to.
Go ahead, man. Oh, you are freezing up and
He's
stuff.
frozen.
Are you okay?
She has the look of someone that's only smiled less than a dozen times in her life.
Like this.
Is this a smile?
Gary, you might have
feels
to
like
back out and come back in, man. You're freezing up.
Is that
This
Oh, Robot
No.
Gary.
No, yes, my channel is amazing, Gary. I'm gonna put you backstage. Restart, man. Restart. So we don't. This is
That's a very
production.
unfortunate looking face, right?
Yeah, that's an unfortunate. But I mean, she is a Harvey
makeup is
Weinstein
horrible.
assistant, bro.
Yeah.
Leslie Headland. I mean, had an intimacy coordinator as part of the production. Yeah. So let's talk about this because when talking earlier, I really thought an intimacy coordinator is like. Is it all right if he puts your hand on his ass? You know,
Yeah, it was. They're almost like a fight choreographer, but for intimacy. Okay, you're gonna put your hand here. She's gonna put her mouth there, and
That's
Yeah,
what
I'm sorry.
thought.
Do you consent to have your face smushed into the pillows in a Star Wars TV show we're doing for Disney?
You consent to having your cheeks clapped by some random actor? Is that okay with you? Yeah.
So what do they really do? Explain it to me again, Mad. What do they really do?
well, they say, hey, you feel uncomfortable in this scene? Come talk to me, and I'll convince you that it's a good idea to do this for your career.
Okay, that. Wait a minute,
I've
what?
heard that before.
What?
So
I
why
don't
is
know.
it intimacy? To
Well-
me, intimacy means like on the set. All right, Max.
Well, hold
Do you
on.
know-
They made
Well,
who was it?
Franklin Jello.
Oh, no. Creed, Jordan B. Jordan. That guy that
Oh,
plays
you fucked me
Creed's
all
son.
up by saying his name backwards.
Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah,
oh,
they
you
made
know who it is?
him.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan and whatever her name is, Queen.
Oh,
Amidala.
Thompson.
Amidala.
Yeah. Made them go to counseling, couple counseling, to help them with their movie. The Creed 2, Creed 3, whatever
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
led to the divorce, Michael B. Jordan's divorce. But it's kind of that.
Was he
shit.
hitting that?
No.
I mean, there was a lot of people who were apparently. So
Oh.
yeah, ask Taco Waititi about his.
Well,
relations with-
we all saw those
Takawaki.
pictures, but
Speaking of Star Wars,
So, all right, Max, do you know what an intimacy coordinator does?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. I do not, and it's funny because you and I were actually on the same page. I thought that whenever they had a sex scene where it's like, okay, so are you comfortable with him pulling your
Yes.
hair? Like this is we're gonna start in this position, then we're gonna start in this position, then we're gonna film from this angle. Because that's what Mad, that's what you said. That's what when you direct a fight scene, your stunt coordinators have to know where the camera angle is gonna be when that guy falls or when he gets hit
Right,
in the face
yeah.
or something. Like the camera
How they're
angle
going
has
to
to
block
be-
it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I thought that's what an intimacy coordinator was, but now it's they're figuring out how the relationship works. It's more on an actual intimate level.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, wouldn't that be the director's job though? The director
Yes.
or
writer's job?
and then the writer's job to provide the motivation for the actors to be you have found the love of your life, and this is the last time you're going to see her. Giving them some sort of. Maybe that's not what I'm expecting. I don't know.
so this is the issue.
Well, let me go to Gary because I want to hear what Gary said. What is an intimacy character or coordinator? Go.
The way I
Of course, the one guy that knows what it is can't
He
hear him.
can't talk.
This is so robotic right now, brother. I'm so sorry, but try. We'll all be silent.
No,
Everybody
I-
mute.
That's really weird. I've been fine all day. Now all of a
I
sudden
know
having,
it's
All right,
probably me.
I have the definition here. So it's somebody who ensures the well-being of actors and actresses who participate in sex scenes or other intimate scenes in theater, film, and television production. They work closely with directors, movement directors, and choreographers to help plan out intimate scenes with the actors and other crew.
So it's what I thought. It's what Max and I said. It's are you comfortable with him putting his hand on your buttocks? Are you comfortable kissing your nips? Stuff like that.
So all staff and actors are aware of the context of the intimacy as part of the story. Communication about the intimacy takes place among participants, and avenues for reporting harassment are available. Actors continually consent to all scenes of intimacy. All scenes of intimacy are performed according to a previously agreed to choreography.
Okay, this is ridiculous.
Just one last one.
Oh, please.
And actors are encouraged to mark the end of each intimate scene with a moment to signal the return to real life interactions.
Okay.
That's called a climax.
I was about to ask you, Mr. Grant Gregory, intimacy coordinator. So you're having a hot sex scene. I'm talking like Monsters Ball sex scene. Make me feel good.
So in other words, a real sex scene.
Yeah, a real one. Like, is there a moment at the end where she could be like, I didn't like the way you slapped me the third time on the ass? Like,
yeah, absolutely. That's the whole point. The indemnity insurance behind anything to do with intimacy scenes is huge.
Yeah, I just don't Okay, can someone explain to me, like, you're acting the part of lovers. Like, it should be not as choreographed. Like, I can understand you're gonna.
Well, no, that's different. So you have an intimacy coordinator and a choreographer. Those are two different positions.
Oh my God!
I just found that out.
It
All right,
sounds like it's
Max.
like. Oh, sorry.
No, don't go.
I think you can have like because there are like really well done sex scenes that actually have meaning towards the story, and then there's like just gratuitous, like, where did that come? Oh, boobs. Okay, that it just comes out of nowhere.
Some of my
but
favorite.
like,
so good ones. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Airplane, for example, when she just pops out in the front of the screen, and it's just like
any horror movie from the 90s. Yes.
Exactly. But then you look at like
they do establish side boobs first, Matt. They do set that up. So.
But then like you look at the movie 300 and the scene of King Leonidas and his queen right before he leaves for battle. You're thinking about, oh my God, like this is the last time they're actually going to be together. So he's going to make it pretty memorable. It's filmed like that. It's shot like that. The choreography is very passionate. Like it's meant to be like that. Oh, well. I mean, if you haven't seen 300, it came out in like 2007 or something.
No, I saw it.
I tell you this, that I'm not the biggest Zack Snyder fan. Gary, nobody can still hear you. Nobody can hear you. Anyway,
really?
No. Yeah, I just heard you just then.
Yeah.
All right, Gary, let's do some testing right now. Gary, say hi.
Hi.
All right, I'm gonna go on with what I was saying.
It's like a 5-second delay.
There's a 5-second delay, and your face is frozen.
I did that.
It's still.
I mean, it's still shit.
But listen, all right, I'm gonna do it again. Gary, hi.
Is he doing it on purpose? I can't tell.
No, I'm not. I'm doing it. All right, I'm going to bail.
Oh, dude.
Why'd you kick him for? That's a bit rude.
I didn't kick him, you liar. All right, we got rid of one of them. Okay.
Anyway, what I was going to say, 300, by the way, I'm not the biggest Zack Snyder fan at all, but 300 is a great movie, the way that it portrays the queen actually being a strong female character without her having like, I'm the champion now. And my favorite moment is when he's about to kick homeboy and This Is Sparta. He actually looks over at her.
Yeah, and gets confirmation that way, yeah.
Right, but it's not approval, it's agreement. And there's a subtlety
confirmation,
to that. Yeah, like, I'm about to do this shit. And she's like, I guess,
Well, because, I mean, like, they both have this role to play in Sparta as the two leaders. And so exactly. He's looking to her to say, shit's about to go down. Like, by me kicking this dude, we're going to start a war. Are we in agreement that is what we want to do? There's a great book called, I think it's called Gates of Fire. And the author takes some liberties with some of the history and stuff. But it's like a fantasy fiction, nonfiction novel. But one of the things that he said in that was that the way that they chose which Spartans to go to the Battle of Thermopylae was who had the strongest wives, because the wives were going to be the ones who had to stay at home continuing the culture, and the ones who were going to make more sons and, in turn have to be the strong ones while the men died. So it was kind of an interesting take.
Well, I mean, and I do love in that movie 300. You know, we'll come back to this in a second. Wow, that was weird. In a second, because 300 has some really awesome moments, and the idea that it is a male dominant, culture, but yet the women are considered they're stronger than any other man in any other culture because they give birth to Spartans. The idea of that was okay. Nowadays, if that came out, would people destroy it for being woke? I still don't think so, but there was so many moments there where they gave women such strength, but still kept them feminine. That is what we're talking about. Like if now today, the queen would have been she would have been butch. And
she would have been leading them. Like you 299 can stay back. I got this.
And also to qualify to be able to go off that, you actually have already had to have had a male heir. That was the point. If you didn't have a son, you weren't able to go and fight.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, in 2023, it most likely would have been her like taking up the shield of Leonidas and being like, I'm now going to like instead of the actor who plays. The actor who plays Faramir in the Lord of the Rings. He's the one who comes back, tells the message,
story,
and then they bring the army. It would be her though that would lead the army, and it's like
exactly.
And she threw the spear. She made the god bleed.
Yeah,
and she was the only one that was nice to the hunchback.
Yeah, the only one. Oh!
Speaking of hunchbacks,
what's up? Oh, it looks a lot.
Man, are you guys shitting on me when I'm gone? Call me a hunchback?
No, that was just Grant. But you look great now. Okay, we're back into this, bro. We are back into this.
Blames me?
Well, who wouldn't blame you?
I get it.
All right, so let's get back to you know what? Let me take off this dark coloring. So.
Wow, it's a bit racist. Don't say that about Jacob.
Wow, you are fucked up.
And also, we
First
can't
thing
hear
I
Jacob
thought is
be
like,
muted.
why is he going racist?
You guys are terrible human beings
My
right now.
first thought was, what kind of person is
you're
like,
still muted.
I
You're
don't
still
want
muted,
it in
Jacob.
dark mode.
Who's muted? Me?
No, Jacob. He's been talking, but he's muted.
Oh,
Someone like double clicked on my end for some reason.
yeah, it's all right, Jacob. So Sarah, putt.
Boy, I mean, for you to struggle on this name is shocking.
Associates, which describe itself as the leading UK independent agency representing behind-the-camera technical and production talent, from producers and directors through heads of department and crew.
That's just a mouthful of nonsense.
Whoo! Details on their website that Adelaide Waldrop is the lead intimacy coordinator for 8 episodes of the first season of The Alkalade.
Well, with the intimacy coordinator, they also do stuff like the props and set up the shots as well to make sure that certain things aren't seen.
No, that's intimacy.
That's the
choreographer.
The blocking and all that is done by the coordinator.
Yes.
No.
No.
Talks to the choreographer, and the choreographer does what the coordinator wants.
No, there's specifically an intimacy choreographer who will.
Yeah, I know. There's 2 different roles. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Okay, wait a minute. This.
Oh, now I was confused what you were saying.
Yeah, I'm so confused. But the Waldrop lady, one of her things says she has also been involved in the intimacy coordinator's mentoring scheme for underrepresented groups led by Yant Dor, funded by the Film and TV Charity Fund, Screen Skills, and Moving Body Arts. So, like,
what does any of that mean?
It means like underrepresented. So she does it for like Black and Asian. I don't know. Like, what does that even mean? Like
it's usually that one specifically. He delves with obesity.
You're so fucking.
Dude, I'm being dead serious.
Come on.
So I heard, a lot of it just sounds like jargon.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah, when you get made up jobs, they just throw words in there to confuse you.
Some people have to have their college degrees validated, so that's pretty much what.
Well, they just won with me, bro, because I have no clue what just happened. Who did we lose?
Oh, you kicked Mad.
Oh, Mad.
Where did Mad go? Mad, you son of a bitch. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Shows off to a great
Sorry,
start.
I pressed the back button on my mouse.
Oh, okay. That wasn't
you-
me then.
Looks like you need a mouse coordinator.
I thought it was gonna like it.
We should change the name of the show from The Dump to The Struggle. That's pretty much what the show is.
I was so proud of myself too, because in my head I was like, these dumb dumbs keep fucking everything up.
Okay, so you got the advocate, intimacy coordinator. I'm sorry, is an advocate, a liaison between actors and production, and a movement coach and or choreographer in regards to nudity and simulated sex and other intimate and hyper-exposed scenes. So there's a movement coach or an intimacy coordinator or choreographer. So
let me get this right.
Yeah.
In film production, because I've worked in film, and I just imagine the nightmare of this, that it was hard enough to do a love scene between a man and a woman with the crew shooting. Now you're including an additional 3 to 4 more people.
Right.
For that event.
Well, they're supposed to be closed sets as well during it. That's one of the biggest things. But now they're adding more people in, so it's
I mean, we have to
kinda
teach these people how to have sex on screen.
Acting has gone to shit.
Well, I mean, once
didn't they practice with the director beforehand or the producers beforehand?
No,
I think once you explain, okay, there's no penetration, that's pretty much the biggest, thing that you need to explain, right?
biggest,
no one
right?
told Billy Bob
Penetration.
that.
Bet you Jenny Ortega doesn't have to go through this shit.
You never know. The union specifically details intimacy coordinator. Okay, ready? Acts as an advocate who serves as a liaison. Okay, we read that part. Ensuring the performers and other production personnel adhere to proper safety protocols. Serve as a resource in realizing a director's vision. Assume the role of a movement choreographer if requested by the director. Enhance believability. Strive to build an environment in which actors understand what is expected of them in hyper-exposed scenes to give their informed and continued consent.
Oh my god, this is so stupid.
Like,
They
This
didn't,
is really
they
stupid.
didn't have one on the room, and that had one of the best love scenes ever. I mean, he was having sex with a belly button, but still.
right.
Because this is where Frank Langella got into trouble, because he did something that wasn't planned in touching this girl's thigh. Next thing you know, production shut down and he's losing his job.
Who was
But
that again?
Mandy
Frank
Kaplan,
Langella.
whatever her name, she does that all the time. She's known for sneaking kisses and grabs and doing all that sort of stuff. But it's only a one-way
Oh,
street.
Mindy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mindy Kaling, whatever her name is. Yeah,
Really? I didn't
She's
know
a
that.
predator.
she's a horn dog.
She's a predator. She's a
I-
real one.
Her take on Scooby Doo though is
Oh yeah,
Fantastic,
hold on, yeah, I
right?
agree.
She gets it.
so you know what? I never felt represented until I saw their version of Fred, and then I was like, I totally get it now. That's how I'm supposed to be.
Well,
that's me
not
up there.
true. You're Paul.
Oh, that's true. Son of a bitch.
So, at the beginning of every semester, you know how the teachers will go all right, go around and introduce yourself and tell us one fun fact about you. So I remember this one semester in undergrad, there was a girl who her fun fact was that she slapped who's that famous soccer player?
David Beckham.
David Beckham, one of those guys. She slapped his butt as they were at an event or something, and I was thinking, dude, if that was my fun fact that I squeezed Scarlett Johansson's boob or something, I would be kicked out of that school. But for it's
Right.
the hypocrisy of when
It is, and I would have shook
women
your
do
hand
it.
though.
I
would have smelled
like
you.
this hand is touched.
Max,
Yes.
you're a better person than me, because I would have stood up next and were like, "Oh yeah, I slapped the butt of Vanessa Williams at an event."
There you go. Yeah,
I don't know any female soccer players, obviously.
But I was
so fucked.
yeah, I was looking around and I was like, are we is this this is cool? And all the girls were laughing. They're like, oh my god, what did he say? And I was like, that's this.
What are you doing in
sexual
my
assault.
house? Get out of the shower. The usual thing.
What up, Damaj and I? Hail, pimp.
What was your fun fact? That you haven't sexually assaulted a professional athlete?
You guys don't understand. The women are in charge now, so this is okay.
Yeah.
Because the people who work for Harvey Weinstein said so.
Guys, it's our turn. It's our turn down here.
It's me too, not men too. God.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, it's our turn down here, guys. You know, up there, it used to be our turn, but down here, you know, it is our turn to be the underrepresented, the ones that get attacked, the ones that no one protects. It's our turn now. And we should be proud of that we're giving everybody a chance to do, you know, they could walk up on the street and knock me out and I should say thank you.
Mm-hmm. You say, thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Can I have another? Yep.
Then you get sued for being interfering with their exercise of, you know, shadow boxing, and then you hurt their fists, and then there's damages on top of that. So
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I gotta wonder though. Do you think we'll ever see intimacy coordinators in the military?
Yes.
Oh,
Dude, we've
Lord.
already had the video in the military that was like, let's talk about pronouns.
Hold up your yellow card.
We already have that in the military. It's called the Air Force.
The intimacy coordinator of the military.
I was gonna say it wouldn't be right for the Navy because they don't need any help anyway.
I'm surprised they don't have a coordinator for getting smoked. Like, okay, your sergeant said that you did this wrong. Now, how many push-ups do you think you're capable of doing? And then he goes to the sergeant like, okay, now he says he can do 15. Is that going to be sufficient for you? No, I was thinking 100. Bro, I had a drill sergeant. He figured out a loophole because you can only make a dude do 100 push-ups at a time unless you have him stand up, do a half right step, and then he could drop down for another 100 and all the way around.
There's also another workaround they have, which is as you go down to do the push-up, he calls out a number. And he just keeps repeating the same number
as if you did it wrong.
You're trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong?
I'm sorry, somebody wanted to see some pronouns, so I got to do it. First of all, my pronouns are so thank you. That was my coordinator, my intimacy coordinator for Sporking News Podcast.
Oh my God, yes,
she's gorgeous.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Edwin,
Well,
what was her? Yeah, is gorgeous.
Yeah, is gorgeous. Edwin is. Now,
God.
please understand, Edwin is spelled EDCO, and respect that. But Edwin is a valued partner here at Sporking News Podcast, and that is a
Sporking fact.
You really need to let Edwin start doing 6-minute dailies or something.
Dude, Edwin got a new hairdo.
Oh yeah.
What, you want to show them? All right, I'll be right back. Edwin wants to talk for a second. Hold on. You guys keep talking.
Nice. Okay.
By the way, Edwin is Sporking's cousin, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're related.
Yeah, I was going to say,
somehow.
how did they meet? But
Yeah, they're related somehow.
Oh, so he's got that blood in his.
He's got
those
yeah.
genes. Interesting.
There's a percentage of him that's.
And it's not by marriage; it's by blood. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
how you
a
know it, runs
that's a
deep.
first cousin. That's a first cousin. Yeah.
Shut up, bitches. I'll be right back. Hold on.
I guess we'll keep going on with the.
Hey, remember that time when
intimacy.
the host left the show?
Yeah.
I mean, you're also talking about a dude that doesn't even do his own. Oh my God.
Oh my Lord.
Is that a fucking mop, Edwin?
Excuse me, I love the Little Mermaid, and I said representation is important, so I'm totally gonna pimp out my. I call this Little Mermaid Dew.
That hair looks like it smells like spaghetti sauce and piss.
You know what, Jacob? You didn't say that last night.
Ooh.
Pegging. Anyway,
Pegging or pecking?
you decide.
All I can say
Man,
is it's
the Wachowski sisters have really let themselves go, haven't they?
it's
So,
stunning and brave.
I think I finally figured out my fetish.
Yeah? Oh, silly. Well, I like it, Gary, but too many R's in your name, slut. What's up, MVP? You're kind of a
Too
big
many
and strong.
consonants.
We'll have to talk later and really see if you're an MVP, because I'm. I can't think of.
Down the fuck DTF because you're DTF. That's
That
the
was
joke.
it. Think of it.
DTF for the MVP. Yeah, we'll get
So anyways,
those.
yeah. Scott is my cousin, and I am the I am the COO, the CFO, and the intimacy coordinator now here at Sporking News Podcast. So if any of you feel sexually aroused and want to like do something, I'm here for you. Okay. So is that what a sexual
I'm
coordinator
a
is?
CEO, CFO, and I'm a big hoe. as
Oh, well, Gary, go on, brother. And let's take a look at this. This doesn't work for me. This is intimacy at its worst.
What are you talking about? If my karate doesn't get him, my cat will.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's cat roddy.
I want to talk to all you racists up here. Hey, Jacob, my brother. I'm talking to Whitey.
What?
So, Whitey, what's wrong with the Little Mermaid? Because Josh Gobb, he played Frozen or something. He came out to say that he's not down with you racists.
Are you talking about Josh Gab? Is that his name?
Josh God.
Oh.
You didn't hear about this?
Yeah, no, I did.
Bitches.
Yeah, anyone who is talking shit about Little Mermaid, yeah, they're racist.
They're super racist.
Yeah, there are 1 million plus racists on YouTube that ratioed
a billion.
Well, thank you guys for at least admitting it. God, you racists.
Did y'all see the statement that what's his name, the producer of the Willow show? What he said?
No, I didn't. What was it?
Dude, it's so long. It's
is it?
It's 3 pages because he's like, we're not canceled. We let everybody go for a year, and there could be a season 2. Look at Arrested Development; they had their season, blah blah blah, years later than this and that. So no, we're not canceled. We're just not filming.
We're not canceled. We're just on a permanent hiatus.
It's insane. Yeah.
Just like they were saying the thing about She-Hulk. It's like, no, there'll still be a season 2 of She-Hulk, and meanwhile, the girl who played like the best friend of She-Hulk is already on another show on CBS now. So it's just a good indication that that show's done.
You're so wrong, dude. She-Hulk was so strong, so powerful. Like, do you guys understand as a woman how us and all everywhere deal with men like you every day? Like, the Hulk doesn't understand anger.
It's going to be a glorious day when they wake up and realize, no, She-Hulk just may have killed the MCU.
I mean, I think she saved it for me because that was some of the most entertaining shit I've ever seen.
You guys are so wrong. God, I love that hair. But hold on, let me read this. Scott, give me a minute. Jesus. Disney star Josh Gad buys into narrative.
Call him a star.
He is.
That's the funniest part about the article. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Spencer wrote this, so.
No, that makes sense.
That any and all criticism of the live action The Little Mermaid is a racist, decries critics as broken and pathetic. What do you guys think about that?
Well, critics are broken and pathetic most of the time, but I don't know. Josh Gad looks like a guy who should dress up like a harp seal and go clubbing.
Wow, he's so handsome. I like.
I'm trying to figure out what I know him from.
I didn't even know that he was in the
He's
movie.
on Avenue 5.
He's been in a movie that you probably seen once and then never watched again. That's pretty much his entire
right.
The Internship? Yeah.
Guys, he's Frozen.
Oh, was he the snowman?
That's
No.
it.
Is he?
Yes, he's the snowman. Orville.
He's not the moose?
No, he's the
Is there a
snowman.
moose in that?
Oh, he's Olaf.
Yes, Olaf. Whatever.
I
Stop
guess.
being racist, MVP, you sexist bastard. God, people
No,
get
you're
things
right.
wrong.
I shouldn't be racist, but I will be fat phobic because this dude needs to go to the gym.
Yeah, I mean, he is a little plump, but you know what? Plump dudes need loving too. Those glasses totally make him look like he's the old guy from Ocean's 11.
Or Up.
Oh yeah,
He is in a ton of shit that
Let's read it off. Read it off.
Okay, History of the World Part 2. Haven't seen it. Avenue 5.
Wait a minute. Time out. They made a History of the World Part 2?
Yeah.
It's been like 40 years and they just...
Yeah, it's on Hulu. And it's a 6-part miniseries of some dumb shit.
Oh, it's gonna be terrible.
Anything with Wanda Sykes in it loses me. I can't stand her voice.
Avenue 5, Central Park, The Tiny Chef Show, The Boys. I don't remember him. Oh, he's uncredited. Wolf Like Me, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Olaf Presents, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Staged, Once Upon a Snowman. Home movie, The Princess Bride.
What?
The Shivering Truth.
It's very ironic. It's very ironic that this guy's been in a lot of kids' movies because he looks like he should be about 50 feet away from any school.
Right.
Wow, that's dangerous to say.
According to the Megan's Law, I have to tell you I can't be within 50 feet of you.
Okay, I guess I gotta
But I
leave,
also
guys.
do guitar lessons for children.
Bye, Edwin.
Guys,
Edwin.
I gotta leave. See you all.
Edwin.
Bye,
me and Scott
Edwin.
got the same tattoos. If you
Yeah, I
guys
was about to
wondered.
say I didn't know y'all had matching tattoos. That's such a cousin thing to do.
Well, we're definitely close. All right, shut up, Scott.
Edwin, before you go,
Yes,
since
yes.
you're the intimacy coordinator for the show, would you consent to us being intimate?
MVP, I just want you to know, anytime you need a piece of the Ed, you will win. You know what I'm saying? You're such a... Anyways, MVP, you could rock my world and win a championship any day. I'll see you guys later.
Oh no, I'm stuck.
Yeah, Ed's gonna be smelling
right,
pee for like the
I
rest
think
of
the
the day
hottest
now.
thing about her is that she's got the same beard.
Who? What? No, we don't do that, dude. We respect pronouns.
I was
You
about
meant
to
to say,
that-
yeah,
Shh.
yes, has the same beard.
Please
Says the
don't make
same
her
beard.
come back on.
Like every time
Oh,
I
y'all
say
making
I
out
say your
after she
cousin's
left?
Name, I feel
No,
like I'm
she
trying
like
to leave.
climbed.
I literally said that you're gonna be smelling pee for like the remainder of the show now.
If you guys didn't realize, Edwin, like she's a hugger. She's a hugger. What are you gonna do? And the hair is, don't tell. Shh, I said this, but shh, totally. That's not his hair. Shazam.
Oh wow!
No shit.
Yeah. Don't tell her.
I
All right.
Fooled me.
Yeah, I think it's the other way around. I almost did the voice. It's the other way around. Monkey Jeebus. Sorry.
Although you are close, you can even finish each other's voices.
Well, like the kid who did Elvis, like still sounds like Elvis. Well, sometimes I like to joke and like use Edwin's voice.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That called for a second one. That definitely called for that. Yeah. So Josh God is a piece of shit.
But yeah, I've known that for a while, so
Yeah.
it's not surprising to me.
You know what bothers me the most is like it's like, do they really believe this? Do they really feel this, or are they just playing the game and they're going all in, all in?
Oh, it's a definite maybe.
You know.
They can go either or. They can generally just be pieces of shit who believe this, or they can also be like, well, if I keep trashing these unmentionables on social media, then maybe I can get a better job. Maybe somebody at CAA will hear my comments about these people on social media.
Well,
and be like,
that's why he
that
did.
plays
That's why he
a part.
did that role in The Boys, where he was the guy who was radicalized. It was designed to get Trump, as he puts it. That's why
Yeah.
he wanted to do that role.
And
Hey,
I was
Weiser.
actually. Hey, what's up, Nick? Yeah, I was just about to ask you guys, like, do y'all like what does Josh get from that? Like, what does he think he's going to get from this? Is it more notoriety? Is it more shows?
Yeah,
like, does he think that by doing this, people
he
will
gets
like?
more
with an
Scooby. He
intimacy
gets more Scooby
coordinator.
snacks from the boys in Hollywood.
Well, yeah, because when they go, okay, we need a voice actor for this. Who's out there? Ooh, did you see Josh Gad on David Letterman the other night? I don't know what show he was on. I don't know if David Letterman's alive. Anyway, he was mad, talking shit about the Yahtzees and shit. He gave it to them.
Did you hear him own those Republicans? Oh, we need to get him on as a talking turtle or something.
Yeah.
Right, well, like put it this way, I don't think Matthew McConaughey really worries about it, but like recently McConaughey
Well,
has
Nate
come
says it's
out.
all right.
Well,
Right,
he's come out recently and like said he's a Christian, and he says a lot of people that
no.
say they're spiritual, I've sat and prayed with in Hollywood. They're scared to even say that they're Christian in Hollywood. So to back all these guys up and then come out and like not go all in, like you either go all in or you're big enough that you could be yourself.
Right.
Not many are. Not many
No.
are.
But here's the thing, though, too. Like I used to
Well,
have
if you're really
sympathy
big, you
for.
can't go all the way in anyway. I've heard stories about that.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about
Here's the
that
thing.
later.
I used to have sympathy for people in Hollywood who were quote unquote in the closet about their religion and stuff like this. But at the same time, I just look at it now. So it's like, so essentially what you're saying is that, you know, if there's any force out there that causes you to choose between your religion and, I guess, being in the in club, that you'll choose the in club, right? Because that's kind of more important.
You remember
to
in Roman times, there were so many people who were like, I'm totally not a Christian. And like, you know, I don't want to be eaten by a lion. No, like they were martyrs.
Yeah, and they didn't even realize what they were doing until the third rooster crow.
Well, did you guys see that
That's
tweet
a Bible
by
deep
Rain?
I got you, brother.
Rain Wilson, the guy who plays Dwight in The Office.
Yeah.
He full out was like, I fully believe that anti-Christian beliefs or like Hollywood is anti-Christian, and he got slaughtered in the comment section. People were like, of course you would fucking say that, you know, like, you know, oh, you mean all the you know,
basically the people who consider themselves to be professional victims would basically chimp out if you ever suggested that, oh, Christians are victims, oh yeah, more victims in the LGBTQ, blah blah blah. You know, they're going after another hockey player for not wearing the pride colors this week.
Yeah, the goalie, I think. But I think a lot of them are Hollywood atheists, just like some of them are Hollywood gay, meaning, oh yeah, I'm bi, so they can have that tick mark for their resume.
Gay?
Huh?
Yeah, down for the
yeah,
stay.
actually, yeah, it's a lot like being prison gay. Yes.
Well, you know something else I've been noticing
or Navy
a lot?
gay.
Something I've been noticing a lot lately is the devil worshipping. Sam Smith, a bunch of rappers.
Oh, the
doing,
symbolism and stuff.
But it's not just the symbol. It's like sexualized, maybe into homosexualization of that. And I'm not saying, look, it's when you're doing this stuff and there's kids at your concert and stuff like that, and you're doing these just really weird.
Well, that's why they're doing it,
things,
because they are there.
Yeah, like I was watching The Weeknd on HBO. I like a couple of songs. My daughters like a couple of songs. And at one moment, he's looking at a kid going like this, and then he does like, you know, and maybe he's just joking, but you're feeding into that demonic Hollywood machine where you should, like, it used to be a thing that you were a Christian or Jewish or I don't care what you are, but spiritual in some way other than satanic. That's like the big thing now. It's weird, man.
But that's the thing, though. They always get you on the, oh, no, it's just art, bro. They don't really believe in this. They're just trying to get, like, a rise out of you. But then you just keep seeing it to the point where it's like, yeah, I don't think that you believe that it's just all one big act anymore. Because it's like, even if you look past some of the musical performances where it's, like, blatant, you start picking it up in other realms, too. It's like, why do a lot of these celebrities now tend to really favor the colors black and red in all of their Instagram videos? And you start seeing patterns like
it's
that.
very strange, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how the hell are you gonna K me back there, Scott?
What? I K'd you. I said K. Like,
Okay.
what up, dog?
Might as well just give a thumbs up emoji.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Odin and I actually had a great video about this because we were talking about like this has been going on for a while. Like, Christians have been the butt of the joke for
since the 80s.
Decades, for
that,
decades in any type of art form,
Animal
books,
House.
movies, music, yeah. And Odin and I were talking about how
Thank God my people never went through anything.
Yeah, that I've seen, like, if you read old Spawn comics or even current Spawn comics, and then even X-Men, like there's an X-Men villain that's called, they're called like the Purity or something like that, and they all wear these like priest robes with a big cross, and they basically purge mutants because they think that mutants are the scum of the earth in the name of God, you know, and it's like, that's what you're like, that's your villain. It's just Christians, you know. It's like, it's not, it's lazy storytelling, and it's pathetic to, like, I can understand a cult leader, but to just have just Christians
in general.
Well,
yeah.
Most Christians love mutants. Everyone knows that. So it's just weird.
I think what you see is that the reason why they are the easiest target for Hollywood or for anyone that do these or include them in their stories is because it's really the only religion that you can attack to that, you know, amount, to that extent. You don't see them doing that to Islam, to Judaism, Buddhism, Islam. None of them.
I think it's even.
They say Allah Akbar in it. You know, then they wouldn't make fun of it.
Well, one second. Storyman Jack, great channel. Hey, Storyman, check your DM, George Big Dick Lucas. I sent you something. Wanted to see if you wanted to come on next week's show here. So maybe you can respond. I don't know. I'm kind of a big deal. I can't wait for you. Yeah, it's I love someone like Odin because we need more. Like I don't go to church like I used to, but I still believe that the idea of making Christianity the villain or the butt of every joke is been done for so long that now it's like perceived as that's how all Christians are. They're either freaking psychos or they're just idiots. And I think that was a planned thing in Hollywood that these outside, and I hate to, but these outside socialist, communist type people wanted to get into the culture, just like they want to do things at school and they don't want you to say the anthem and they don't want you singing the national anthem and or doing the pledge and stuff.
I think there's a difference between coordination and having the same ideology. When we talk about all of these people doing these
Maybe
same
that's a
things,
better way, yeah.
Right? It's not coordinated by some, no figure
cabal.
behind. Yeah, there's no cabal behind it, but it's ran by people that all share the same ideology. So they're all doing these same things.
Yeah.
So it can't appear as though it's a coordinated attack when it's really just a massive amount of people have influence that are following a very specific ideology.
Right.
Like I said, I think it's even simpler than that. I think that if these people, if you take them at their word and they are who they say that they are and who they show you that they are, you understand very much why they have a very extreme hatred of Christianity and Christ itself. Because it seems like a lot of the things that they do and they profess are at direct, let's just call it rebellion of things that are written in the Bible. And I tell people that, and people say, well, I don't believe this and I don't believe that. It's like, okay, that's fine. But here's the end of the day, they seem to believe that. So if they believe this, then that seems to hold more weight for them, which means that there may be some more weight to what they're actually doing in the grand scheme of things. So
Yeah.
They were who we thought they were. You want to crown their asses? Crown them.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Nick.
Look who it is.
Hey,
How
Scott.
you doing?
How's
How
it
you
going?
doing?
How are you doing?
Backdoor
Hello.
Gary.
Gary
Good
is
to
here.
have you here. And you're at the front door.
This is a fun
Max,
panel. We got
it's been
so
a
many
long
different
time.
people. This is
You
great.
don't
Bro,
understand.
man. I
Gary's
love Nick.
Gary's part of my Toxic Tuesday show.
Where's Jane?
And I cannot wait to have him back along with Mr. Mad Morgan, who's been back recently.
Yeah.
And it's been good. Now it's just like now we just need to have Geary, and we've got a full stack of dudes. And of
Yeah,
course,
man.
it was
What
great
are you
to
doing this
see,
Tuesday?
48 hours.
Oh,
Dude, that's my
Oh, I
favorite
can't
film.
miss that.
I'll come for another one.
Hey, Jack, tell me a bedtime
Get it another
story.
48 hours.
So
But
let me ask you
Grant,
guys.
hello,
Yo.
Jacob, Max.
Yo,
been
yo.
a long time, very, very long time, Max.
Let me
Yeah,
ask
man.
you guys
I
a
miss you,
question.
brother. But go ahead.
Is this
I'm
wrong?
here too, Nick.
Oh my lord.
I mean,
Now-
it piqued my interest. I'm like, okay, let's see what they do
2024,
with it.
baby.
Now,
Let's just see what they do with it.
well, let's just say you put this out there and someone's like, that's wrong, that's not funny, blah, blah, blah. But let's say this was serious. Could you now tell people that hate the idea of this that, oh, you're just racist because you don't want a black man playing this role? I'm looking at this in a serious way because when we look at our fandom and our modern myths and our fantasy and our sci-fi, that's how it feels when you swap somebody just for the sake of swapping them.
Also, if it was a Netflix one, his name would be His Hitler. Like, you got to add a bit of flair to it. So
Right.
Well, you know how that's going to be respond. They'll say the classic 3 words. This is different. But this is different. And you know what's a common denominator every time they break their own rule or something goes against what they're on? It's because they have something to gain.
Right.
That's
Right.
the common theme between every time when it's different. That's really
Okay.
all it is. It's that they have a
I'm
gain
moving,
or a
I'm
loss
moving
in
around the
that.
room, and Black Hitler keeps looking at me. Like, no matter where I'm standing.
Yeah, no, his eyes don't
His
leave.
eyes are
Yeah.
just. It's like the haunted mansion with
Okay,
the.
I
It's
gotta
almost
say this
as if
really
it's on a
quick.
genetic level.
I know, right?
You
That's what I
just
thought.
did one of the biggest tropes in comics. You called him Black Hitler.
Yeah.
Blackler?
That's messed
Black
up. His name's
Lightning.
Hitler. Yeah.
Blade off.
Blade off.
Well, speaking of comics, I mean, you guys know this, but like they can't have any black men or women that are villains within comics now. They're too afraid of having, like, they have to see. It's that Eric July that he always talks about. These individuals who write these characters and only see legitimacy in protagonists, like lead white male characters, which is sad because there are so many great characters. Like, I mean, Nick, look at the Jon Stewart Green Lanterns, the Al Simmons Spawns, the Sam Wilson
military
Falcons.
personnel. I'm glad you mentioned that, Max, because what drives me fucking crazy is that you have all these legendary like black heroes that are original and have fans, and it feels like they either want to pretend that they're not there because, as Eric July says, they always see legitimacy in white characters. But on top of that, when they try to race swap, do the tokenization, they always fucking feminize the black man. What the fuck is it that you see black men so low that they have to be this like bitch-made guy? Like, why is it that
that's a big thing?
Black guy cannot be like a well-rounded individual? Like, do they think so low of black guys that they have to be this like defenseless appearance? Like,
they're threatened. They're threatened.
I think it's even bigger than that. You guys saw the picture that went viral this week with Drew Barrymore and the Dylan, whatever his name is, that guy. So you notice that in that picture, you're seeing a woman dressed like a man and a man dressed as a woman, and that's supposed to be the new norm. Like, they're doing that across the board with everyone now. So they're trying to shove it in your face, so it becomes more normalized that you just look at it and be like, oh, there's not a problem here. It's just the way things are now.
Jacob, it's the art of desensitization. It's if you make it happen enough, people get more and more used to it because it's just more frequent. So they're hoping you accept it. I mean, it was the perfect tool that worked with the infamous. What was it called? 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Yeah,
and they knew it was a lie because it takes the average human being like a week or two to get into a habit. They knew. Well, by 2 weeks, we can now accept it because they're already in the habit. And that's what they're trying to do with that type of stuff. Just rub it in your face so you accept it. And hopefully you won't even realize you accept it. Yeah. That's what that's what they want out of that.
And we're demonetized.
2 weeks to flatten the curve turns into get the job or you don't have a job.
So I got to get going.
So we need to play this, right? All right.
Yeah. Coming next week, next Saturday, following the dump.
Next Saturday, following dump on Mad Cheesemo's Mad Barber Entertainment.
Yep, first time we've ever done this. Well, not bad. Never done this.
Never done this before. We're starting with episode.
Mark your calendars.
And they've taken the stream down.
Yeah. Back when boys were boys and girls were dimes. You know what I mean? Come on, kids.
So should I?
The next intro?
Hold on. Max is about to admit that he's a big fan. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, actually, because should I tell you guys now or later that I actually live in the Orange County in California?
What? Do you know?
Have you met
Seth and Ryan?
Do you know Seth and his dad?
So there were a couple of friends of mine that were in the show Laguna Beach, which was right after Orange County. And they went to Laguna Beach High School. So yeah, and they are the embodiment of the surfer. Like, what's up, dude? Radical.
My God.
Oh, did you ever bang that blonde, whatever her name was?
You know, the blonde one?
From Laguna Beach?
I mean, you're going to have to narrow that
what's
down.
her name from Laguna Beach?
Every blonde.
Yeah.
Autumn!
What's that chick's name from Laguna Beach?
Lauren Conrad. Lauren Conrad.
Yeah, you been Lauren Conrad?
I literally just said the name.
Matt, you come on, you
He
know
did.
this, bro.
He did.
They don't like
That
me.
means yes.
Yes.
The response is the response.
Yeah. Back then, you used to wear boat shoes and popped collars. I know what you're all about, bro.
Yeah, cargo pants.
Yeah.
Cargo shorts,
Tommy Hilfiger. Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah. So the
Doc
OC
Martens.
bros are back.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, for the first
For
time.
the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the Orange County is pretty much like the last bastion of like any kind of sanity left in California, and it's a very, very small
Imagine
island
that.
as compared to the entire state right now. I mean, I'm from San Diego, and so I'm only like 90 minutes south of where you guys are. San Diego used to be a state of sanity not too long ago, but it's not that much anymore. So
Wait a minute.
hold on to
I
what you
thought-
got.
You're on to something with that comic. You talk about the last batch of saying, if you had said that 20 years ago, they would have looked at you like you're insane. No, I could see everyone agreeing with you on that one, and that's a weird thought to process.
I've made this joke many times before, but obviously you might know the little band called the Mamas and the Papas, right? And they did a little song called California Dreamin'. If 1966 California could see what 2023 California has become, there probably would have been another war, and they would have started it. So.
No,
right, well-
those guys wouldn't have been
California
hippies.
I can tell you right now,
Let
even
me-
Karl Marx is like, what are you doing?
I don't know. He seemed like a pretty reasonable guy from what I've heard. But yeah, I got to get going. I got plenty of movies with Matt available on the channel. We're going to start a
fuck outta
D&D
here.
campaign soon. That's going to be fun.
Oh,
Hit me up.
thanks for letting me know.
Get that pussy out of your hand.
What? How dare you? That's my attack cat.
Later, man.
D&D with
All right,
him
bye,
is
guys.
Later,
dick
brother.
on
Good to
dick.
see you.
Yeah, that'd be good shit, man.
They do a
Yes.
lot of docking.
Let me ask you guys a question. Has anybody seen Shazam, the second one now?
Oh, I just saw it a couple days
I
ago.
just saw the first 10 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, I've seen about half of it now on the high seas. Not even half. Probably like an hour, maybe less than an hour. What'd you guys think of it? Jacob?
I liked Wonder Woman. in it.
It's perfectly okay.
That's what I was saying. I didn't have hatred
It's
for it.
amazingly average.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like here's the problem. It's like the running joke of the entire series so far is that hey, Zachary Levi acts like a child throughout the entire movie and whatnot. But it's like, but he is playing someone who's like 17, almost 18 years old, but he's playing like he's like a 4-year-old still, which is like a big disconnect about how the character is supposed to be
That's
done.
got
So
brought up
He has
as a
the
new
wisdom of
52.
Solomon. That's how
It is-
wise he is. He acts
They
like a child. That's-
misunderstand Captain Marvel completely.
Yeah, they do misunderstand Captain Marvel. But I like what Grant was about to say, the wisdom of Solomon. Like, that's like a big part of this movie, which I haven't seen the end of it yet. So he's never had the wisdom of Solomon.
Nope.
You know, so like I don't know.
Also, I think you could probably count on like one hand the amount of minutes that Billy was actually in the movie, because
Yeah.
like he wasn't even there. It was really weird.
It-
Things though he took up
I
a
was
huge
worried
chunk of the
about
first
that
film.
because
Yeah.
Zach, don't get me wrong, I liked him as Chuck, but good grief, man. The best part of the first movie is the kid.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and what's his name? The guy who plays Chuck. He's not a bad actor. You know.
Yeah, Zachary Levi's fine. He's a
yeah.
funny guy, but
No, he was very well casted for the movie. He really
Yeah.
was, and I've always been a defender of the first movie. I thought it was a
I liked the first
solid
movie.
I enjoyed
superhero
it.
Flick. I
still say they
thought
get
the
it
humor
wrong.
landed. The humor landed on a lot of parts. I actually liked Mark Strong as Dr. Savannah. I thought Darla was funny as well.
He could have
And
played
it was,
DC
it was
bad guy.
light, it was lighthearted and family wholesomeness when it needed to be, and then when it needed to be super dark, like Harry
Yeah.
Potter levels of darkness, it went there. And I thought I felt like it melded
Mark
those
Strong's a
two
great villain.
polarized differences and made them work together. So I was a fan. I saw the first movie opening night theater, and I really enjoyed it. And I've read I probably own like about 30 Shazam comics, and I really enjoy the character. I still haven't seen the sequel. I'll see it eventually. It just no. I had
here's
a
a
feeling
question,
something
Nick.
was up with this one. What's up?
let me ask you, Nick, because like the two things that really bugged me about it was one, that when he says Shazam, Captain Marvel is an amalgamation of all those demigods.
Right.
Yes,
It's
true,
not
true.
him. He goes to a different location, and Captain Marvel takes his place.
So okay, because there's been different versions of Captain Marvel.
Well,
but
that's the way original it was established early on, was that that he takes Billy's place.
Right, and Billy, like Billy becomes back in the subconscious, and he is
Or
now
something like that. Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
They actually did a run on comics recently. Donny Cates did a run where he had Donald Blake and Thor, because back in the day, Thor would, Donald Blake would use his cane and would by the power of Thor, and then he'd turn into Thor.
Oh, wasn't it an umbrella? Wasn't it an umbrella? I thought.
Well, it might have been.
It was an umbrella.
He may have done an umbrella on and off as well.
Yeah.
There was an umbrella too, but there was also stick, as in the I can't remember
like
if it
a
was
cane
the
or
Iron
a
Man
walking
cartoon
stick?
in the 90s. The Iron Man cartoon in the 90s, they had the Thor Donald Blake persona in that show, and it was with the stick. No, sorry, I'm correcting myself. It was the Hulk show, the Incredible Hulk animated series where that happened. It was the Donald Blake take on Thor at the time, which ironically interesting at the time when the comics are going. I think they were doing the Eric Masterson version, which went on to become Thunderstrike.
Oh,
and also in the 94, the Fantastic Four movie in 94, when they had Thor appear in that, he was credited he was credited as Donald Blake, not as Thor, because they didn't actually have the name, the naming rights for that, so they called him Donald Blake. So
Yep.
And that's what Gary was saying earlier, is like when Donald Blake hits that cane or stick or umbrella, whatever it is, he gets zapped somewhere else, and then Thor comes down to Earth and takes his place. And so Donnie did that.
This is Max. I swear to God, Max, you sound like the dude that does the voice.
Of this guy?
Of Tina Belcher, yes, or whatever her name is.
I gotta know.
I swear to God, there are moments when you're talking. I swear to God, you sound just like.
Oh, I thought that was Max.
So you guys are right.
Maybe
It's
I'm
a stick,
secretly a
but I
voice actor.
swore it was I swore there was an umbrella at one time, but it is a stick in this early version. And you're right. He gets replaced.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep,
that's
he's-
right.
So,
I remember this as a kid. Yeah.
So I mean, it is like a pretty interesting question, and I think that Donny Cates series kind of posed an interesting thought, because what he essentially did was, when Donald Blake leaves Earth, he goes into this like this weird verse where it's like everything is perfect and the days just kind of relapse, and they like he's just in this like
heaven.
It's not
like
heaven and hell.
utopia.
It's almost like a utopia right in between both heaven and hell.
It's like
and like all the
ayahuasca.
It's a good
all the 9
purgatory.
realms. It's that, that's what it is. And so he finally recognizes, he like becomes sentient, and he realizes like, oh my God, I am in this purgatory. And so he starts killing people and wants his title back. He wants to be Thor. He doesn't want to be Donald Blake. He now wants to be Thor. So it was a cool, interesting dynamic, but just thought that was
I really do remember that.
They should do that. They should do that in the movie. I could just imagine this, a Thor movie where he's finding himself.
But
they really haven't done that yet, you know.
But you think about
Remember the first Thor movie where he showed off the ID that said Donald Blake on it?
Yes,
Yes.
that was cool.
That was a great Easter egg.
I was the only one dude who probably like, yeah.
But what kills me is
Scott, you're right. It wasn't Umbrella, because they took the scene where he hung up Mjolnir on the thing. That was a direct copy from when he hung the umbrella up that he used to use. Yeah.
Okay, so there was at one time an umbrella.
Yeah. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say, I swear I've seen old comics with him using an umbrella. But you know what I find very interesting too is the idea, like, there is so much history that they could have pulled from, and they went from Thor and jumped all the way to the 2000s. Like
comics were only invented in 2008.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, remember,
Okay.
Kevin Feige is only knowledgeable back to the 80s in Marvel Comics. He doesn't know shit about.
It's like Silver Age. You mean Silver Surfer? Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, right. Silver what? I like golden showers. What?
Whoa.
Yeah, no. I was
Oh,
gonna
wait, were you saying Feige or you?
Yeah,
What's
no,
that
Feige, of course, of course, Feige. So what I'm thinking about is every DCEU movie. Now we're finding out Shazam, and Aquaman and Flash are the end of the DCEU, and then the Gunniverse starts.
Then why did they put the post-credit scenes in? That's the weird thing. That was the post-credit scenes are still building to shit. That's what I don't understand.
That's what bothers me. Okay, so somebody came out and one of the kids from Shazam and spoiled that, Gal Gadot ran from the Aquaman set to do her cameo on their show. So she's going to be in Aquaman too. Now you're still giving us this stuff, but what's up?
Mad Mardigan. Mad, what he said.
Oh. Hello, shit. The girlfriend told me to come back to hear the reveal of Max sounding like Tina from Bob's Burger, and it's 100%.
Okay. Do I need to do?
No, we're gonna
do
play.
I need to
I'm
pop
gonna
out
play
of the
it.
stream, or
Nope, we're gonna play it right now.
Find a video of Bob's
No,
Burger.
Tina, you're right. Stay here.
Yeah,
Dale,
Tina,
right.
don't leave. Hold
Because
on.
it is a guy that does the voice, so.
I mean, you wouldn't be the first guest we bullied off of this show, so.
I was gonna say, do you want me to leave, go listen to it, and come back? Because now
No, we're playing it.
Yeah.
No, we just want you to get up and piss on your desk.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you worry
Max,
about that. I'll do that when
sorry, dude. I'm so sorry, man. I like you. Please don't hate me for this.
I was gonna say, wait, well, I mean, I've been giving shit all the time, so it's all right. It's
okay, fine. I don't think he sounds exactly, but we're gonna play it right now. Let's hear. This is. Hold on. We're gonna put you right here.
It'll be interesting to hear what other people think I sound like. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like when you're listening to a voicemail of yours and you're like,
well, I already have your voice set as one of my AI trained models, so I'll let you know soon.
Ooh, okay. Is it your sex AI model? Hopefully it is.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm on the big screen.
It will be.
Oh wait a minute, it should be showing the video too. That's weird. Oh, I didn't add it. That's why. Add. Okay. All right, you be prepared. All right, here we go.
What do you say? You get behind the wheel.
What would I do behind the wheel?
Drive.
Is that legal?
Well, no, but my father let me drive when I was about your age. Call it a perk for running errands with your dad.
Let's make this kitty purr.
Okay, wait a minute. I don't think. What do you guys think? I don't know.
I don't hear it at all.
I don't know. Let's
maybe.
Yeah, the tones are a little different.
MVP say, let's make this kitty
very
purr.
different.
I have to be super monotone though.
You also got to hear more of the newer shows because the actor is not masking the voice as much.
Okay, find it for me. Find it for me, and we will play it. We will definitely play it. Okay. Because I would like to know. I would like to know. Seems legit. And I hear it.
I think I could probably hear a little bit of the tone. He sounds like I don't know. Yeah, I would hope I have a little bit more bass in my voice.
You do. Yeah, definitely a little bit more bass. But if we find it, we'll come back to that. My question is this: how bad will these last couple movies affect Gunn's, DCEU or DCU? Because you think about this, you have 3 movies still. You just got Shazam, you have The Flash, and then you have Aquaman. That's 3 more movies before Gunn even gets involved in the world. Like, are people gonna want to see a Gunverse, or are they gonna be so sick of this they will? Like, I'm trying to figure out people's feelings on it if they still even care.
Well, I'm going to post a picture in our private chat. I just want another movie with this person. So that's all I care about. You can burn the rest of the DCEU to the ground as far as I care.
Dude, she is smoking hot, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Very
yeah,
Marvel,
dude, she
very
really
Marvel.
is. I'm going to show her.
And they just made her a minor character in the movie. I was like, I would kind of front load her a little more.
Can we get like an entire movie? Yes, please.
Yeah.
Did they recast her character from the first movie?
No, she was in the first movie too.
Yeah.
That's her.
Wow.
All right. Okay. All right. I
would definitely like to see a lot more of her.
Yeah. She's, the girl is. I mean, she is beautiful. She has something about her.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. There's something. It's personality. Really, just.
Yeah, it just
Dude,
pops out.
I know how this sounds, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I know how this sounds, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it because I went to the theater to watch this, and when I saw her on screen, like my first reaction was, "Oh wow, I didn't know they were that big." So I could have swore it's like, okay, someone put some of the budget into that, making that work, but it's like, oh no, apparently that's mostly her. So
all right, giving it another chance.
Here you go, a little more bass. Here you go.
all the way.
All the way?
That's what she said.
All the way? Come on.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a different kid.
All the way?
Oh,
No, it's the same actor, same voice.
Okay, see that
Yeah,
that I
see
can
now?
see that I can see.
okay. That was
The
a little
other
bit
one was
different.
like, yeah, the
too
other
high,
one
too high pitched.
It was
Like,
higher.
she was
it was
going
earlier
through
in the
puberty then.
series.
Yeah,
Now
that's
the
a
actor's
puberty
just
thing,
gotten more
yeah.
comfortable with his natural voice and just goes with it.
Yeah. God. We could just watch that for the rest of the
Yeah,
stream.
can we just
Shazam!
leave this on the stream?
Yeah, we're just gonna leave it. We're just gonna here. We'll go like this. Oh yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
Much
yeah.
better.
So let's move on to. I don't even know what to talk. I just keep looking at her and I'm like, okay. We will have to. Add
Oh,
some-
yeah, she has a face,
Intimacy
too, so
coordinator.
there's that.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes. Intimacy coordinator. So this is what we will be talking about this because I kind of want to see what you guys think about it. Right here.
No. Oh,
Go
I was gonna ask Scott. So you had mentioned a little bit earlier, like you said something like to the effect of, "Does this even matter? Does it play into like
Yes,
this whole
please.
like gun verse and stuff like that?" I'm very curious to see, like, do you guys think that normies even care about these verses anymore? Like, because when Marvel started to come out initially, I didn't know that they were phases until I really started to look into more of this stuff.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, they have a whole plan for this. And I started going to conventions. So like normies, I don't even think normies care, nor do they want to care about phases or verses. They just want good shit. Am I wrong?
Well,
Or do-
if the Ant-Man numbers
Right.
are any indication, I think people have gotten sick and tired of superhero movies at this point. Because I mean, you have like the Snyderverse and the Gunverse, and then the MCU Phase 5, 6, and 12. It's like people are like enough.
I don't
Just
think
enough.
that's
I'll
a
argue
fair
this, Jacob.
representation of how people feel. Honestly, if we're gonna be very fair, Jacob, I get what you're saying, and I do think there is some truth to that. I do think that there is, but if you gotta remember, the Ant-Man threequel did have a good opening weekend. What
Yeah.
happened was
Word of mouth.
after that weekend was the real result. Because if people liked it from the opening weekend,
It would have blew up.
it would have.
The problem is that
to outpace both 1 and 2 worldwide, it's not going to outgross either or.
But that's
because
been
really
the
reception. So people still are interested. They just didn't
Well,
like this.
let me.
movie.
I want to
put it
hear
you
what
this
Gary
way,
has. Yeah,
Nick.
go Gary.
It's very simple. When you say superhero fatigue, I say that's like saying entertainment fatigue. And that's
Yeah.
just dumb. There's no such thing as entertainment fatigue. What there's a fatigue of is terrible writing, terrible storytelling, and terrible ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not projecting what people want to consume. People are consumers, and they need to be able to consume things that they want. And if you give them things that they don't want, they don't watch them. It's not
Right.
fatigue as far as entertainment goes. It's just bad writing and bad ideas.
But that's been the kind of the norm for the MCU for a while now. Like I think what was going to go on to what Nick said. It's like this has been the
Endgame
trend.
was just where it started, really.
Yeah, because the trend, especially with the last like 2 years of MCU films, it's like they have a super big opening weekend, and then the drop off is just massive after that. Because once everyone has seen the movie, because everyone wants to, I want to miss one of these films, I have to at least see it, right? And then when you see it, it's like, okay, that's it. Then I'm just gonna move on now. And that's
Repeat viewing is where all the money that Star Wars made.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's repeat viewing that Marvel was really enjoying, but now they're not getting the repeat viewers because they're putting out substandard product.
But here's the problem: you're hiring, like you said, the reason why you're getting these, the output you're getting is that you're hiring people from like Rick and Morty to be like, okay, you're gonna lead our entire film franchise for the next 3 years, and then they don't know how to write anything. Like the guy who did Ant-Man Quantumanium, they're apparently putting him in charge of the next Avengers movie that you're supposed to be excited about in 2 to 3 years. So if you didn't like Ant-Man, then how the hell are you gonna be excited for
it's
Avengers?
Bad
5?
idea fatigue.
You're muted, Scott.
I do
I
get
was
what
doing that on
I'm
purpose. I
actually
was doing
with
that on
Gary
purpose.
on that one because once again, even though I thought the last Marvel movie I watched was Doctor Strange and the Mom, as much as I can stand that movie, you have to still look at what's going on. it had an absolutely killer opening weekend. So the interest is still there. You can't deny that the interest is still there. It's that people are definitely responding a lot more negatively or more conflicting. So the interest is still there to see that. It's just that they're not liking mostly what they're getting. The interest is there.
Yeah, word of mouth is so essential for these films.
Weekend is a good reflection of that, because Doctor Strange's his opening weekend was bigger than the Black Panther Wakanda Forever's opening weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Monkey
people
Jeebus
wanted to see that, and obviously most people ended up not like it. But from the get-go, people want to see it. Wakanda Forever still had a good opening weekend. Obviously, it did not go anywhere near the numbers of the first movie, but people were genuinely at least interested.
Right.
Now, obviously, a lot of them end up not liking it. Whole other story. The interest is there. It's to see it. It's, will this be good? Because clearly people are responding a lot quicker and a lot more like, ooh, this is not diving.
I've overheard, and first of all, Monkey Jeebus, he was just saying that as one of the Rick and Morty guys.
There's more than one anyway. I mean, you look at the last Ant-Man movie, She-Hulk, the last Doctor Strange after they got rid of Derrickson and Cargill as well. It's been more than one. So
okay,
just starting out there.
The thing about normies, like you were saying, Max, I want to say it was at the dentist, and two of the dental aides were talking.
Was it a normie dentist?
It was definitely a normie dentist. So one of them said to the other, "Oh, I just saw Ant-Man Quantumania," and she goes, "Oh, I was thinking about going to see that. How did you like it?" And she goes, "It was as weird as Doctor Strange." And she goes, "Oh, really?" And they both started discussing how the multiverse they don't like the idea of it. It confuses them. They just want good, like the entertainment they were showing earlier with different people, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. Now we all come together. I think they're trying so hard that they're not realizing that normies don't want to think that hard when they're going to see one of these movies.
Especially if it's
spectacle over story.
I think you're giving the MCU way too much credit with that comment, Scott.
Yeah.
I actually think you're giving way too much credit with that comment. The reason why I say that is because you can be a normie and watch the first Iron Man all the way through the first Thor and have a
99% of people
were going on.
That's what I'm saying. Yes,
storytelling.
That's exactly what I said. Though.
Even now, can you understand it though? Because there's a direction. You watch Phase 4, there is no direction.
Right, and they're confused. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. The original first few phases, everyone could say, "Oh, they went from showing us Iron Man to flashback to Captain America, showing us Thor, and now we have a movie with all of them." Yes,
the first
exactly.
Three. When you got Phase 4, which is what I refer to, and I've been calling it this for a while. Phase 4 is Kevin Feige shit in the bed. That's all it is. And then Feige steps up and says, he and the two, Victoria Alonso and what's his face, they were the folks who screwed up Phase 4, go, well, Phase 5 is going to be better. And it's like, wait a minute. You're the same people that screwed up Phase 4.
Right. Mm-hmm. Phase 4 had no direction.
Better this time?
Well, that's what Captain America told us. Do better, Senator.
Here's your big problem.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Is that when you look at Ant-Man 3, they put the entire hype machine behind Jonathan Majors as Kang because they really thought that audiences were really going to grip the Kang the Conqueror as the new Thanos leading them to the next few years. That didn't happen.
No.
So here we are at this moment. They don't even have an Avengers team set for a movie that's supposed to come out in the next 2 years. So they have to, and if you look at what they have coming out between now and that next movie, there's nobody in that lineup that's going to make you excited. Do you care about Black Captain America? Do you care about Thunderbolts? Apparently Blade is now on the shelf because that's not going to happen. So it's like, what team can they possibly scrap together to make anyone interested in the next Avengers movie in 3 years?
Well, Max, the Guardians of the Galaxy, but they're gonna kill half of them off in the next movie.
Yes, right, Max. What were you going to say?
Lives matter.
Max, what were you going to say? Please.
Yeah, I was just going to say real quick. I think that it'll be interesting because even if they do, if they're like, you know what, we need to make money, we're out of ideas. Let's just bring the original 3 back. Let's bring Robert Downey Jr. Let's bring Chris Evans. Let's bring Chris Hemsworth, and we'll find a way to work them into the multiverse, and they'll do a soft reboot.
Yeah.
Even if they did that, do you think normies would put their butts in the seats for that? Because at this point, it's like. Oh, okay.
Keep going. I got something to show you. Not this. Sorry.
Oh, no. Okay.
I got something to show you, please, because you put it perfectly. I just put out a little
Is it the hot superhero chick again?
No, I wish it was. It's me mostly.
Oh yeah, because it's an interesting notion to think that, like, even if they were going to bring, these classic characters back, is it that they want the old? Because I also think what was great about the phase 1 through 3 was that really in those early stages, you could watch those movies as a continuation and there was a through line, or you could also watch them as single films, just like comic books. So if you read some of Chris Claremont's stuff back in the 80s and 90s, you could read a single issue of his and still understand what happened in the last issue without reading the last issue, because there was still continuity, there was still a through line, but you didn't need to. Now you have to see Loki in order to understand WandaVision, which is a lead up to Doctor Strange Mom, which then finishes it. And it's like, I don't have that fucking time.
And it's as bad as yeah, go ahead.
No, the continuity should be the icing on the cake. It's one of those things, and I'm glad Max brought this up because it reminds me. I've been reading the Marv Wolfman, George Perez run of the New Teen Titans, and you could read every issue of what I've read so far. So I'm 34 issues deep. So in those 34 issues, each story stands on its own 2 feet. 34 issues. But yet, if you have read them all, obviously you benefit from the larger, greater picture at play, and that's how it's supposed to be. And it reminds you of when Chuck Dixon was speaking on The Real BBC, when he said editorial told them, write every comic like this is someone's first comic. Write every comic like that. And I could tell Marv Wolfman and George Perez did that same thing in the 80s as well when they were writing the New Teen Titans. They had the quick recap that was bam, 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 and got straight to the story, and you're still able to be entertained, still have fun. And if you just could only read that issue, you got your money's worth. And if you wanted more, well, you're gonna buckle in and have even more fun. And that's what the MCU movies could do. I could just put on Doctor Strange, and I'm good. I could just throw on Ant-Man, first one. I love that first one. I'm good.
Oh, it's great.
You could put them all on their own, and you're good.
Yep.
But nowadays, it's required, and it'd be one thing if the stuff was good, maybe we would feel more interested in it. But it's worse when it's bad.
And think about that.
And you're like, you want me to sit through trash?
Well, think about it, Nick. You if you didn't watch any of this series, you're gonna be like, you went and saw Doctor Strange and why is Wanda evil all of a sudden? You're gonna see Sam Wilson as Captain America and be like, why is he Captain America? How did that happen? It's just like if you didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett and you watch Mandalorian season 2 and Grogu leaves and then you watch the first episode and he's back, you're like, how the hell did that happen?
I'm glad you mentioned that one, Scott. People at my work were complaining about that. Like how a lot of people didn't watch the Book of Boba at my workplace. And believe me when I say my workplace is the epitome, the nastiest, gnarliest left the chamber. But they all knew about the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And they were all confused as to why he had Grogu with him.
Yeah.
And I gotta give them credit. They remember that. And I was like, wow, they actually picked up on that.
Right.
Well, here's something about that though, Nick, just to let you know. That episode that we saw in Boba Fett was supposed to be the opener of Mandalorian.
The last 2 or 3.
And because they screwed up Book of Boba Fett, the premiere for season 3 got pushed into Boba Fett.
Yeah,
screwing
2.5.
everything up.
Yep, it did. All right, so this is from Joe Rogan's podcast. It is him talking to Robert Downey Jr. So hold on.
There's something.
Is the door to Iron Man totally closed? Because I don't believe it is. Oh, you guys can go through time now. You can go. There was, you already opened up that door.
Let me ask you the question. If I pick the jersey back up and put it on, wouldn't you feel a little bit like, oh, crap?
No.
Oh.
Here's what I think.
All right.
They go through a few semi-lackluster Avengers movies without you. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Here's a scene. There's a moment where the world's fate is at stake, and they realize they need a super genius. And then they figure out how to restart that time machine.
Great.
Come on, man.
Is that
the audience sees you when you step out of that thing?
Is this and you want a little arc on it too? Because if this is your idea, then you got to show up for it too.
I'll do it.
Okay, I get Rogan's point. I do. But
Rogan
I'm actually
is
more on
normie.
Robert Downey Jr.'s side on that because of the quality of where it's gone down. I don't want Downey involved with that shit.
No.
I actually want him as far away from it as possible. Like
he's going to be an AI, right? He's going to be a Jarvis. They're going to show his.
Well, dude, that's the thing that they might legitimately do that. They will pick that specific run in that as well, because then what they can do is they could also bring in Nazi Cap as well on top of it.
Yeah.
Hydra Cap.
Hydra Cap. Wow, that'd be sick.
Sign off on that shit. He will sign off on that. He might even reprise his role just to be that shit.
Yeah.
That's why like when they, because I think people say like, oh, the MCU has like all this great material to pull from, and at this point I'm kind of like, don't tell them about it, because you still haven't introduced Beta Ray Bill, who's one of the best Thor characters you can imagine.
Amen.
They still haven't, and yes, Walt Simonson, and then you think about
Throg.
Silver Surfer, and I don't want Silver Surfer anywhere near the MCU right now, especially right now.
Yeah, she would be terrible.
Let me go back even further. Let me go back even further.
Near this shit. I don't want Eternity near this shit.
Exactly.
I don't want Nova near this shit.
Well, they already got Eternity, didn't they? Wasn't Eternity in the last Thor movie?
Yeah, kind of.
Nova's already been mentioned.
Or what was it?
It was at the very end of the Thor movie.
It a cloud?
Oh, Galactus is the purple fart.
Oh, come on, that's supposed to be a joke, not reality.
I got you, but like the girl is like the culmination of like all power. She's going to be like super strong, this little girl. But let me just read these two super chats because they're the ones I got, and I'm very grateful. Mr. Big Wig Maga AG Lig Vietnam Ham Jam Fig Stig try for 22 tries. Rest in peace,
Nice.
Lance Riddick. Natural causes? ? I call BS.
I mean, let's put it this way: anyone who dies of natural causes at a very young age, I'm just gonna throw a challenge flag on that one.
Okay, let's be clear. It wasn't. He didn't die of natural causes. He died of obesity.
Yes,
No,
right.
That explains everything.
We're not representing it correctly. Storyman Jack for $10. Our guest next week on The Dump. The problem is that everyone has lost their minds and tell stories by checklists and quotas, and then muscle whatever message is most important at the moment.
You just described Scream 6. Did anyone read my review of that movie on Bounding this week? Because that caused a lot of people to be upset this week. Because, everyone heard my headline and then the first sentence, and they just lost their minds. It's like, oh, so you don't like the film because the bad guy is white? It's like, no, that's what I used to explain exactly why this film is trash. Because with progressive storytelling, when everyone in the film is brown and gay, then you pretty much know exactly who the killer is 5 minutes into the film. And lo and behold, I was right.
It's pretty sad.
Oh no! Spoilers.
Spoilers. Fred's the villain.
Yeah, it's sort of like with Star Trek Discovery Season 1. I knew that Lorca was the bad guy right from the first episode because he was too likable.
Right. Well, you know.
Yeah, well, he's a Malfoy. We all knew he was a bad guy.
They gotta be.
Yeah, right.
So what do we got here?
Oh, I just wanted to. And this is basically just the MCU in a nutshell, right here.
Endless trash.
There you go.
I love those guys. Red Letter Media.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I like to see that.
At this point, you know, with the whole MCU, look, do Secret Wars, do put everyone who's ever been in any Marvel movie ever in one movie, and then just wrap it up. Like that's why I just end it there. Like I don't want to hear anything about Phase 7 or Phase 8 or about a new Echo series coming out on Disney Plus. Like just wrap it up already. Take it home. Just get out of here.
It's funny, Jacob, because like initially,
they could do that.
Go ahead, Max.
I was going to say initially, Jacob, because probably I'd say a month or two ago, maybe I tweeted out about like, superhero fatigue. And I had a lot of people coming to my comments saying, dude, I think you've got it wrong. Like superhero fatigue ain't it. Kind of what Nick was going at that there is an audience that's still there. Look at Spider-Man No Way Home that made $1 billion at the box office. So there's still people that are, I think, looking for the content. But I think when I say like the superhero fatigue, like remember how in the early 2000s it was like and late 90s it was like Gladiator, Braveheart, Lord of the Rings, like fantasy epics or like big like sword and sorcery epics, and then it moved into kind of like, I don't know, Matrix, Minority Report, and then you had like, then we got into superhero movies like in the 2008 era. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a new genre, like Western's going to come back? Is sci-fi going to make a big appearance with Warhammer, or monsters? Like, is there a next thing, or is it just going to be superheroes until the end of time? Because if that's the case, that's when I'm going to be like, dude, I'm fucking done with superheroes. Like, let's see something else. Well, so I think that's where the superhero fatigue may come in, but I don't know.
Here's the problem. Everyone's kind of waiting for this renaissance in Hollywood for better characters and better writing, but you have to ask yourself, who are we hiring that we're expecting this renaissance to come from? And they're still doing the diversity and inclusion quotas, which means that the people who are writing most of your stuff in Hollywood look like the cast of She-Hulk. And that's the problem.
The problem too is you get somebody who does that movie Parasite. Like, it is nothing in the world close to what was that movie again? Oh, I'm blanking. I'm sorry. The movie
Everywhere, Anywhere, All at Once.
The Eternals. No, The Eternals.
Jennifer Zhao,
yeah. She did Parasite, I believe, and went to the Eternals. Am I correct? I think it's
she did a few small super indie movies.
Yeah,
and she went straight from Eternals. And you know what? I don't think it's a bad idea, Scott. I'm glad you touched on that. It's not a bad idea when you're a small-time director, you're going to the big time. It's because if you're good, you'll be able to make it work, and you got people also to help you that. This is what Kevin Feige crew are supposed to do, because obviously that's a big jump. But obviously the directors and the writers they are going for from top to bottom are all unqualified for their positions, but they're doing because diversity, and also the word that they're not going to tell them to your face. They're just a lot cheaper.
But the thing is it helps them cut corners. It's diversity, dude, because they had an inclusion.
And they're cheaper. I'll bet it's not even about that. If we got a hold of their paychecks, I guarantee you they're all getting less money than your James
Russo
Gunn,
brothers.
Your Russo brothers.
But they were nothing. They were community before that. This is what I'm saying. You got to find
telling people that we don't want to hire fans.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You either don't hire fans or they don't even research the freaking material. They were hiring cheaper people, but they were people that dove into it or were already fans and gave it their all. Now you're getting people that want to, like She-Hulk, represent themselves and make us the villains of the whole
the head
series.
writer is the one who said that he's not looking for fans.
Right.
He doesn't want fans being hired to write for Marvel.
Yeah, well, look at what is it, The Little Mermaid? Like, I think especially Disney that pretty much found out that it's like, hey, look, we don't need to hire based on quality anymore, because if we get the right diversity and inclusion, we can just run a media campaign saying that anyone who doesn't like your movie and TV show is racist, sexist, homophobic, blah blah blah. That way, we never have to address any of the quality of our films.
Right. Ooh, this is a perfect line right here, Max. We're hiring children who haven't experienced enough life to write good stories. They also don't have any imagination. By Elizabeth Young.
They're not
Max
taught to have imagination. They're told to just think of everything as me, and because you taught them that, now they're in this position where they think they have to see themselves. Now you have to break them out of a habit to have an imagination, which is weird
Well-
because for them, having an imagination is foreign language. Was guys like us, we came from an era with the Steven Spielberg.
Well, we played
or
outside
Martin
too.
Scorsese.
Like, think about
These were
how old are you
directors,
guys?
Oliver Stone.
Not you,
who had
Gary. We know how
imaginations.
old you're old. No, Gary and I are probably the oldest here, right? I'm 47.
Don't include me in this. Shut up.
I mean, you look old, Gary. Maybe you just lived a lot of life. Max, how old are
Probably
you?
second youngest.
I'm 29.
Oh, God damn it. Okay, forget it. But I grew up. I grew up.
I
when
have
there-
undigested beef in my gut older than you.
I grew up
Most
in an era
likely,
when
most
we didn't
likely.
have cell phones. We didn't have cell phones. We went outside and played. We
Yeah.
used sticks as guns. We made complete stories outside with our friends and
Yeah, as
didn't
I said,
come in
you're
until the
poor.
lights came on. Yeah, we were poor.
Well,
Whose fault
also,
was that?
Yeah,
Scott,
please,
that's
Max.
it. No, that's a great point. And because what's happening now is we have to reflect the world that's our modern world, right? And by reflecting that, it doesn't give them that imagination that they need to create these massive vistas and these great new worlds,
Right.
because they have to think of reflecting Los Angeles. The other thing too is like the greatest creators in history have all been through something. The best storytellers and writers have experienced something. The reason why Stan Lee and Jack Kirby are the gods of the comic universe is because they're both veterans. They've experienced war, death,
That's exactly
tragedy,
what I was thinking,
suffering.
Max, is those guys survived World War II.
Exactly. And so when
Tolkien.
they wrote from Tolkien, World War One, dude, like holy shit. And so that's why I think it's so important that people experience life, that have the experience to actually write a story. So yeah, I mean that was a great comment that
You want to know why the MCU is screwed? Because of this right here. This is in the last 4 years. This guy right here is the only person who's led an MCU film to $1 billion worldwide box office in 4 years.
Who's that? Oh, I'm sorry, right here. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that fella. What's his name? Zendaya.
Yeah.
Because they gave us what we wanted. They gave us our
cute
original Spider-Mans, or Spider-Man, our second Amazing Spider-Man, and they didn't disrespect those characters.
I mean, that's a cute picture for a couple of teenagers, and then you realize they're both almost 30.
I know, and rich as hell. That's so
Aren't they
fun.
like 24, 25? Actually,
They probably are.
They might
You're
be
probably
older
right.
than that.
We'll just pretend
Well,
they're 30, though.
Well, they're both
Because
too
when
old.
Tom
They're
Holland
both
got
old
cast,
enough that
he
DiCaprio
wasn't
won't
old
date them.
enough to. He wasn't old enough to drink yet, like legally, of course, because he was drinking.
Well,
Of
maybe
course he was.
maybe in the okay. So I was wrong about the director of Parasite. Then what did she direct before this? What the
What's her name?
Eternals?
The Eternal. She
Find that for me.
It was called Fog or something. I don't remember. It was.
I thought it won an award.
Yeah, it did. 18 people watched it, and that was the 18 people that were at the Academy.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
literally, no one saw it.
So I want to hit on this before we're done, because we got about 15 more minutes. So the first synopsis for Superman Legacy by James Gunn has been released, and it says that he brings back truth, justice, and the American way. So I want to see where the synopsis starts. Here it is. Okay. Synopsis. God, I hate my mouse. As follows: brings back the tried and true motto Superman is renowned for. Superman Legacy tells the story of Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent of Smallville, Kansas. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, in the American way, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned. Gunn, who is now attached to the direct, teased what will shape his Superman in Twitter update. Then, a bit less than a year ago, I saw a way in many ways centering around Superman's heritage, how both his aristocratic Kryptonian parents and his Kansas farmer parents informed who he is and the choices he makes. He also says, so I chose to finally take on writing the script, but I was hesitant to direct despite the constant pestering by Peter Safran. Yeah, bullshit. And others to commit. Sorry, Peter. He said,
says he
currently,
doesn't
however,
lie.
yeah, it's such a bullshit thing. You know, he wanted all of it. Currently, however, he's ready to go. So
I'll
do you
say
think?
I'll say this just real quick. I think the Truth, Justice in America, an American Way is fantastic if they end up going with that, route. I do think that if they were going to do a show or a movie like this, it should have been Superman Birthright and not Superman Legacy. Superman Birthright is a series of, and it may have been better for this avenue or this route. But I'll say that this is all great in theory. If they're actually going to play it out like this with Superman, Truth, Justice, and the American Way, that's when I'll finally go, okay, wow, these guys mean what they say. But until then, it's just words, and so I want to see their actual actions.
I consider Gunn very subversive, and I don't trust him one bit.
And it's like right out of my mind, because I was literally just about to say, okay, that's great and all, but do you trust that James Gunn is going to be the one that deliver a straightforward Superman movie, or is it going to look a lot like the last Suicide Squad movie we just saw a couple years ago?
You cannot be irreverent and show reverence, and that's him and Taika Waititi in a nutbag.
Yeah, but you look at Gary, you look at Suicide Squad, which I thought was terrible, both of them.
The first one was better than the second, though.
But then you look at Guardians of the Galaxy. You look at Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think he did an amazing job. And I hope this last movie, even the Christmas special, I thought was fantastic.
Well, if you go back to that, though, stop and think about this: that a lot of Marvel fans of the comic, the Guardians of the Galaxy, were pissed at what he did.
That's
true. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Not the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Not me.
Oh, yeah.
I could care less.
Here's why
I didn't care, but I enjoyed the movies. But I get those fans that were upset.
But I get Superman too.
What's important to remember about the Guardians movies? The first one was only co-written by James Gunn, and then the second one is basically James Gunn with full reign, and the second one was way worse off in quality than the first movie.
But it still was good. It wasn't horrible.
No, it wasn't. Drax was a completely different character.
Yeah.
His nipples can't.
I think as far as Superman goes, let me just put this out there, because Richard Donner made this clear, and he was a lefty too, but he understood there's only one way you can do Superman and get it right. He has to be a Boy Scout.
Right.
Yes.
And if he's not a Boy Scout, he doesn't
100%.
work.
100%. He is the antithesis of Bruce Wayne. He is the opposite. You know, Bruce Wayne is, even though he was just really more of a detective in the early comics, but like he is the more darker side of justice, while Superman is the positive light. Max, you were going to say something.
Well, I mean, that's a great. Well, I think it's a great point, and it's also
Thank you.
When you reflect it, when you reflect it within the comics, you can do a dark Superman, or you can do a Red Sun Superman, or you can do you can do all these different versions of Superman, because there are decades worth of material and different artists and writers and something. But when you go to the movies, it needs to stick to the core of the character, because the movies are what most normies are going to see. You're going to get millions of people watching a film, and so that's what they envision, as opposed to these comic books, which not a lot of people read. It's a niche hobby. So you can do all these different types of Supermen, because maybe they read it, maybe they don't, but you have the creative space to like mess around with a little bit of that stuff. And even most people will say, like, I don't want to read the Elseworlds Superman, or I don't want to read the Red Sun. I just want the American made mom's apple pie. I want my Blue Boy Scout. And I think that should be reflected within the films. But it's so funny to me how these are the biggest IPs in the world: Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and then eventually we'll see Warhammer at one point. But like, we're getting all these IPs. These should be layups. These should be the easiest shit you could possibly even imagine to adapt onto the screen. And somehow they're still finding a way to fuck it up.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, Monkey, I don't know what's up with you tonight, but you were off the mark on almost everything you said tonight. For some reason, I like you a lot, Monkey. I expect a little better accuracy in your criticisms. I really do.
So, Superman needs to be Superman, and I had to emphasize that because, and yes, I'm going to take a shot at Zack Snyder here. Zack Snyder claims he's a comic book fan. I would say he's maybe a Frank Miller and Alan Moore fan.
He's a Frank Miller fan.
Of those guys. That's fine. But to be a comics fan, You need to know who Neil Adams is. You need to know who Steve Ditko is. You should know who Mark Silvestri
Brian
is.
Boland.
Thank you, Brian Boland. He probably read like The Dark Knight Returns and then just put the song in his head.
Batman all
Every
the
story
time.
must be like this. Every story must represent
Every
this.
movie has to be.
And it doesn't.
Yeah.
But
I'm
they've
sorry,
all
and it's
followed
trippy.
that in the movies. They've all
That's
followed
the
that version
biggest
of the
problem.
Yes, I'm
ever.
with you.
And
I'm
even
with you.
Frank Miller himself will admit that himself. I like that story too, but the problem is everyone just got this fucking hard on for that story to a point where they thought every story was like that, which it wasn't. Those were stories that
The
were supposed to be
broken,
their
dark,
own entities just to display
angry
that other
Batman.
side.
Right.
But Superman is not Batman, and this is something Zach thought. Oh, hey, let's just make him dark like Batman, but with powers. You need to make him the contrast of Batman because they ended up not being any different than each other in the movies. One had powers, the other didn't. But they're both whiny. They're both mopey. They both had very similar personalities. It was just an atrocity to just have to suffer through.
Yeah, it
and
was rough.
Fuck you, Zach, for that shit. Seriously, fuck you. I
You
will
know,
not let that shit
when-
go. Producing
biggest-
and directing
Well,
Man
Nick,
of Murder.
Nick, Papa
He was
Kent,
not.
Papa Kent saying he should have let kids die.
Yeah,
is-
that was just
Oh,
Oh my lord.
fuck off, Zack Snyder with that shit. Seriously.
Well, I will
Fuck
tell you this.
right
I'll
off,
tell you
Zack.
this.
Oh,
Remember
you
who
are getting
wrote?
mad.
Hold on,
Zack
hold
Snyder
on.
with that
Hold on,
parental
Nick.
dialogue.
Who wrote?
Dial it back to 2, Nick.
Who wrote Man of Steel? Who wrote it?
Huh? He
Who
directed
wrote
it.
Man of
He had the
Steel?
final say. He let that line.
He did
be
not
in
have
there.
final say. His agreement with Warner Brothers was he had to shoot Man of Steel as written if he wanted more films.
Really,
he
I
played
didn't know
the
that.
game.
I didn't know
He's
that.
still complicit then. He played
No,
the
he's
game. He's still
complicit. But the fact is everybody knows that is not Paul Kent.
No.
No, it's
Well,
not.
that's
It's
the
wrong.
fundamental
It's
problem
not.
that they have with like Superman and everything now. Like the biggest thing that people have never really put the film when it comes to Superman. Superman could rock up to any place in the world and tell a bunch of people to stop, and they would. He's that respected. He's that loved. He has that level of power of the people. He's a person of the world. He's American based, yes, but not. We've never seen that. Like they want to go. They said they want to turn it into a Frank Miller
They
Dark
want
Knight
Superman to
sort
be
of thing.
evil because he's the Americana image, and they need that to represent evil and not good because they don't want Americana being presented in a good light. That's
Yeah.
why these writers don't like touching Superman, and they want to do the 800th version of Injustice or Red Sun. And trust me, I do like Red Sun. I'll say it. I do.
Well,
But at the end of the day, it's not my go-to Superman
Jacob-
story. I have a whole ocean of points of reference.
I
Those
know you
writers
do.
don't want to acknowledge.
Well,
for
let's just go.
Superman
Let's go,
reference.
Jacob, then Jerry, and then we'll wrap up with a question I have.
Well, first point I wanted to make is that James Gunn actually produced the evil Superman movie called Brightburn, which is a movie that was written by his brother. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you're giving a guy
Absolutely.
full reign over the Superman franchise. And then I want to call Jerry out here for a little second because he besmirches the name of David Goyer, who's the guy who wrote Man of Steel. How dare you besmirch this man's name? Don't you know that he also wrote a little film called Terminator Dark Fate? Don't you remember that classic movie that he wrote as well?
Did he really?
Oh yeah, same guy.
Know that,
Oh my
dude.
God.
He is so terrible. I do
I
not
had
like
no
Goyer.
idea.
Yeah,
Fuck Goyer.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
Brightburn was twisted. It was
I
twisted.
wipe my ass with Goyer's scripts.
Yeah. So let's
Brightburn, just real quick. Brightburn is literally just say, "Hey, yeah, let's do a Superman movie and make Superman evil."
Yeah.
and that's what
That's
the
fine.
Exactly
yeah,
what it
that-
was.
Brightburn.
But
Exactly.
that's
I'm fine with
Brightburn,
that.
and I thought that was awesome.
I'm
Okay,
fine with
so
that with it being Brightburn.
yes, not Superman.
You
not
got your
Superman.
Superman out of the way. That's not Superman.
Though I can't lie,
Fine.
I liked the idea of him landing in Russia. I thought that was an interesting
what if,
take.
yeah.
A
It's
what
what
if.
if, yeah.
Just a what if though. That's not canon. That's a what if. So this is my question: will Zack Snyder bring back the Boy Scout Superman? Will he do it?
Well, I'll tell you, it won't work if he does.
James Gunn or
Oh, I'm sorry. Who did I say? I meant James Gunn.
Zack Snyder?
I'm
Oh, okay,
sorry.
sorry.
James Gunn, bring back the Boy Scout. Thank you, Max. Bring back the Boy Scout Superman. We'll start with Jerry, and then we'll go MVP down to Mr. Grant and back down the line. So Jerry,
oh my
go.
God, who did
Gary,
that?
Gary. I said
My
Jerry,
name is
sorry.
Jerry.
He fucked me up. I saw that.
I swear to God, somebody changed my name. I didn't do that.
It's
No,
Mr.
that's
Grant.
great. You got to watch him. Your name will just change randomly. You won't
I
even
just
see it
realized I'm Sporking Nudes podcast.
Sporking Nudes.
Hey, I would subscribe to your OnlyFans.
Thanks, brother.
And Jacob's screen 6 is great.
Yeah.
I lost train of thought because of that. What was the question again?
Okay. Will James Gunn bring back the Boy Scout and nail it, or will he fail, or will he not even try? Like he says he is, but will we get that?
Look, I've got to tell you something that I know he's a better writer than Joss Whedon, for sure. I prefer his writing over Joss Whedon's any day of the week. I know that he's also a good director when he puts his effort in, but the problem is his irreverence scares the shit out of me. And when you're dealing with Superman, you cannot handle that with you have to handle it with reverence.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
That is a character that if you are irreverent with him in any way, shape, or form, you have broken the toy. It's no longer working. And that's where I stand. Will I give him a chance? I'll give anybody a chance. Do I have faith in him? No, I have zero faith in James Gunn.
Okay, Max.
And it has nothing to do with Mikey Mason. Fuck you, Jeebus. I love you.
Max, what's with all the weird panel names? Yeah, thanks a lot. Max?
Oh man, it's really tough. It's tough because I like James Gunn's work on Guardians and Slither and some of his old like horror
I love
stuff.
Slither. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like it's clear that he is very talented. But one of the best depictions I've seen as of late was there's a moment in the new Superman show, the Superman and Lois show.
Great show.
Good show. Yeah.
Where Superman comes down and he's got the old school logo where it's like black, like we're talking
black.
golden
Yes.
age. Man.
Yes.
And some
My
kid
mom
goes,
made it for
"Oh,
me."
thanks." Yeah, and Superman goes, "Oh, thanks. My mom made it for me." That's what we fucking need, you know? And so if he can encapsulate that moment into a film, I'm there for it. But
he should just make that kid Superman. I'm sorry. If he's going for a younger Superman, why not just make him the Superman?
I still think he's Henry Cavill's age, though. I think he's in
Tyler Hoechlin is a year older than Cavill.
Yeah, he's 30.
God, he looks like a puppy. Okay. All right. I'm at that age where everyone looks 15 to me. All right. Mr. Grant Gregory, what do you think?
Well, as I said, I think the biggest problem is that the basic failure of Superman is how the world looks at him and perceives him. His actions, to me, half the time are irrelevant. It's about how the world sees him in truth. And I still don't think we've had that yet. We haven't had that moment where he just says stop and everyone does.
Right.
You know, we've had that with Wonder Woman where she's like, oh no, don't. You've got to give up the bad things. And people did it, but it wasn't earned. But with Superman, he has that power. He's it's the equivalent of like Captain America could go over to another country and stop them from fighting with his words.
Yeah.
Because he's that respected. But we never get the respect for Superman's character. Not from an outside perspective. I'm talking about within world universe.
Right. They either treat him like a villain or, in Snyder's verse, or a god.
God, yeah, but that's not the case. There's a difference between someone who's a deity and someone who is respected.
Right.
And I think
I don't think we've ever got that yet. Like even with Donna's stuff, he was never seen as the guy that was the ultimate version of respect. You look up respect in the dictionary, it's Superman's face because everyone respects him, whether they hate him. Luther respects the shit out of Superman,
Good way
but
of
he
putting
hates
it.
him.
Yep. Max, what were you going to say real quick?
Yeah, sorry, real quick. I don't want to interrupt the flow. But yes, I think the best way to do that is focus on Superman's humanity. It's not his powers that make him super, it's his humanity.
Amen. All right. Nick, in under 2 minutes.
Dick Weiser.
Yeah, Dick Weiser in under 2 minutes.
I don't know. I don't like. I would like to think that James Gunn is capable of achieving what should be Superman. I would like to because I know he understands the comic book medium, and I know he's a genuine fan, and he's not just a Johnny Come Lately as far as DC Comics goes. I have seen his posts dating back to 2013, where he's always been praising DC Comics. even though he's never said it, but if I had to bet, if I got into his mind, I think he's a bigger DC fan than he is Marvel fan. But he has always been upfront about how much he loved DC. So I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see it happen, but I'm not really holding my breath on it. I want it to see I want it to be a Superman movie about Superman, and it'd be nice if we had a villain like a Metallo or a Parasite or a Brainiac. We don't need the 800th film with Lex Luthor. I love Lex.
Brainiac would be dope.
Let's give General Zod a rest. We already saw Zack Snyder. Yes, I'm taking a shot at Snyder again. Do Doomsday. That wasn't Doomsday. So let's give an actual Superman villain, and let's get some historical accuracy. I would love to see that, but we'll see. I'm really way too conflicted on this one.
Gunn could bring in Mr. Mxyzptlk, and I think he could do that as a good like antithesis to Superman. I think
Gilbert Gottfried was legendary as that character on the animated series. When Gilbert Gottfried was Mr. Mxyzptlk, I was all in for that shit. And he had a great character arc in the Rebirth story. That crossover between Superman and Action Comics.
Yeah.
What was it? 6 years ago already. Damn, that was already 6 years ago.
6 years ago. That's crazy.
I was all in on Rebirth. And then
he was trapped by his father, wasn't he? He was trapped by because he was trapped by. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That was when they did the merging of the Supermans because it was the split ones. That's right. Yeah, I remember.
All right, we got to wrap it up. So I just want to get Jacob's view on it. Jacob.
I'm still thinking about the Shazam girl and her big boobs. What are we talking about?
Beautiful, brother. I appreciate where you're going with that. I think that's a great way to answer it. I think that's it. No, do you have anything to say on it, or do you think he's going to fail?
Like I said, I don't have nearly the faith in James Gunn that a lot of other people do, so I'll just leave it at that.
All right, brother. All right, everybody. Thank you. Hey, I almost said Jerry again because of the J. Gary and Max, thank you guys so much for stopping in. We'll have to have you guys back again. This was a lot of fun. Max, sooner than later, though. You remember?
Yes. Yeah.
Too long. But we had a ball, man. And Nick, thanks for jumping in, buddy. I appreciate it. No thanks to Mad Cheesemo because he left, and Culture Casino who doesn't show up. Grant, Jacob, thank you guys for being here. So, Max, if you want to let them know where they can find you real quick.
Yeah, sure. MVP Maxfield Von Priestley. Once again, this was super fun, and thank you guys again for having me. It always feels like it's way too long before we see each other at the next live stream or whatnot. But so it's always fun to come back and see you guys and just catch up and be a bunch of fucking nerds, which is awesome. So.
Amen. This was a good nerd one, man. Gary, what do you like to say? Last thoughts. That was perfect.
You guys know where you can find me, Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, and Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Pop Culture Minefield on Facebook, and of course Pop Culture Minefield on YouTube. Fun panel.
Yeah, man, that was a good time. Thank you guys, everybody. Thank you,
Gary.
You too. You are good. You're good. You're good. You're beautiful. Look at this guy.
I just want to say something to Gary. That's all.
All right,
we need to talk after the show, buddy.
All right, talk after the show. Thank you to all the channel members. You guys, even though the freebies are gone, the guys who are still there, thank you so much. E. Clay Thomason, thank you for becoming a channel member tonight. If you want to become a channel member and support the channel, please follow the link on my page. It will definitely help out the channel. Yes, Aluminum Spork. Oh, Aluminum Spork. That would be a fun one. We'd like to talk aliens and ancient history. So
I do a show on it every week with Don Eckerman.
Dude, let's talk. Peace, everybody.
Ciao.
Monkey Jeebus, Ben Henniger, Darren Gatewood, Matt W. Brent Sanders, Forbidden Ruin,
Monkey Jeebus, thank you. Come again.
Time Republic, Glinser, Micah Wolf, Biggles_Mets, McKinney Draws, Sean Estep, Pops, Zach's Awesome One, Mr. Grant,
this
Gregory,
is about as
Nagurdle, Soul Assassin, One Man Show, The Lovely
It's
Sherry,
AI.
Keely Chow,
It's AI doing it.
AJ, Eric K, Tina Bojan, Katina Martin.
It really is.
Yura Barmy, Sultan, Alpha Him, The Ginger Ninja, Brian Saunders,